Hey, Bob, you're watching Dolly Vision.
The evidence seems to indicate that you're watching Dolly Vision.
Dolly Vision streaming real. True crime scene blast feel so unreal. YouTube madness, like, share, subscribe. Jack's on fire, burning the world fire. Where's the baby missing shadows crawl? People whisper footsteps down the hall. Fingerprints of the dead, cold as stone. He's got the scoop, best around town known. Dolly Vision headlines, King of Peace. Truth unravels, crackling through the heat. Lost soul shouting, echoes in the night. Rock the truth while live on air light. Jumping up, Dolly Vision streaming real. True crime scene blast feel so unreal. YouTube madness, like, share, subscribe. Jack's on fire, burning the world fire. Where's the baby missing shadows crawl? People whisper footsteps down the hall. Fingerprints of the dead, cold as stone. He's got the scoop, best around town known. Dolly Vision headlines, King of Peace. Truth unravels, crackling through the heat. Lost soul shouting, echoes in the night. Rock the truth while live on air light.
What is up, YouTube? It is Dolly back in the house. And of course, tonight I got the lovely PJ with me. And we're going to be talking about Nick Reiner's diagnosis and a child that was recovered after 40 years, plus some other things here tonight. So if you're a true crime junkie like me and PJ, you are in the right place. But first, we're going to need one favor from you people. What is that, PJ?
Hit the like button.
Leave your DNA and your fingerprints all over the damn like button. And if you're brand new here, what should they do, PJ? Subscribe to the damn channel, people. Of course.
You always say it.
Easy answer. I know sometimes I mix it up, right? I'd like to change it up a little bit, add a little sauce to it.
Saucy.
Anyway, let me give our warnings because we always do that. Dolly Vision's for entertainment purposes only. We talk news, rumors, gossip, speculation, theories, mixed with a little comedy and a whole lot of chaos. Okay? So don't take nothing here as fact. It's just our opinion, people. Completely satire. The callers tonight's opinions are theirs and theirs alone. Everyone is innocent to proven guilty. And the biggest one of them all, tell them, PJ.
Don't try to be Dolly at home.
Don't try to be Dolly at home. It's dangerous, okay? And you'll have Tourette's, and you don't need that. All right, tell these people what we're touching in on tonight on Nick.
It was recently released that supposedly, allegedly, we don't know for a fact because it's probably a HIPAA violation, but he may possibly have been diagnosed with schizophrenia.
Schizophrenia.
You know what schizophrenia is?
Multiple personality disorder.
Right.
Okay,
And
you didn't think I knew that, did you? You didn't think I knew that, did you?
Well, because they've recently, I thought from when I was in EMS and then from when like there was big people on YouTube, I think Trisha Paytas at one time said she had DAD, which I thought they had classified the schizophrenia as DAD, which is dissociate disorder. I don't know. I'm not very good at terms. We're not doctors.
Okay, we're not doctors
you know
here.
That. Don't take
We're
any medical
trained
advice from
conductors,
us.
and I see a bunch of people already jumping on the Dolly train. Sherry is on the train and she wants a window seat. We got Misty Moonlight in the train with us, right? You know you ain't blessed unless you want the express, right, PJ, tonight? You want some blessings? Get on the Dolly Express. We're taking you to the promised land. To the promised land. Okay, here's my problem with this whole thing. Is when you live in Hollywood and you got millions of dollars, you can get a doctor to say, damn, whatever you want a doctor to say.
Right.
And schizophrenia, listen, you just can't go out there and kill somebody and go, oh, I'm schizophrenic all of a sudden. Right. Now, here's the thing with me. If you're doing drugs and it make you crazy, like tell her your business.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Remember her? She was an influence of methamphetamines and drugged out of her mind. And and then she tried to say she was crazy. Of course you're crazy. You were doing a bunch of damn drugs that made you crazy. You tear your own mind up and then you kill somebody. And then you try to say, well, I'm the victim. Because he's trying to play victim now. He's trying to say they subscribed him some new medicines, and those new medicines made him kill his parents. Right on the bottle it says, warning, may cause you to kill your parents if you take these.
Well, if you're mentally unwell, it was my understanding that when they mix your medication, I mean, I've had anxiety for as long as I can remember. Whenever they've decided they wanted to just up and change my medicine because they claim it's not working as well as it could, I've always felt weird and I didn't like it. So I thought if you had like schizophrenia or DAD, you would be monitored if they decide to change your, like, meaning like you're going to actually be at the facility.
No, that ain't always the case when they change your medicines. I mean, recently I went to a doctor and they changed my medicines. And they didn't they tell you if you have any problems, call us, right? They tell you to, if you feel weird or you have any changes in behavior or
But your
anything.
stuff was not mental.
Well, it don't matter. Medicine's medicine. Every medicine has different side effects. Just because you take medicines that's not for psychosis don't mean they don't have side effects that are like you may want to harm yourself or all these medicines have side effects.
Right.
And they tell
That's
you
true.
when they give you the medicine, listen, if you experience anything difficult, call us. We may need to lower your dose or we may need to change it to something else. That's your responsibility. Not to me, like not the doctor. Like if the doctor gave me something, then I started having bad thoughts and I didn't call the doctor and tell him about these bad thoughts. And then that's my own fault because the doctor told me, hey, if anything, you have any problems with this or it causes you any issues, contact us. We'll make you another appointment, get you right back in so we can change it up or do something to it. Now you got to remember if you're taking medicines, right? But then you also going and smoking crack, then I mean, are you blaming the medicine or are you blaming the drugs?
Yeah,
and
that
if
was
you
part
put
of the problem,
drugs
too.
in your body, it's your own damn fault. And I just have to keep going back to tell her business. I mean, she was attacking the lawyers. You would say this
At
lady's
random.
batshit crazy, but she wasn't crazy enough not to stand trial. And California may even charge him with the death penalty, and they don't give nobody the death penalty.
They said it was since 2007. Who got put on the death penalty in 2007 in California?
It has to be a crime of like significance or a crime of like just brutal crime.
But they said that was just because there's two people.
Well, I mean, you look at. I don't know. It depends on what part of
Why didn't the
who's
Menendez
trying
brothers
you.
go then?
Yeah, why didn't the Menendez brothers go to death penalty? I mean, California has its own rules. I mean, you kill the wrong person, you get the death penalty. I think that's how it works in Cali. So I mean, a lot of people is going to have a different take on this, and we know Alan Jackson is the lawyer, former Karen Reed attorney, right? Which got Karen Reed off of backing over somebody and blamed it on some innocent people, right? Now we're going to have him trying to blame this on the doctors because that's what he's going to go with.
I know.
We know this is what he's going to go with. I'm sure he called TMZ, and this is all. This dude is a master at tainting the jury pool. I think that's what Alan Jackson is good at. He's good enough to get everybody to cause a scene, get it all in the media, and then people have a preconception before they go down into the trial of what's already going on. And he has a little tiny bit of that Karen Reed cult following, like he's some god ass attorney, but really he's just an ambulance chaser to me. I don't.
I mean, he represents the bad guy.
Yeah, he represents bad people every time he gets a chance. And I haven't seen any lawyer that ain't a fucking sleazeball. right? Because all these people support criminals, killers, drug dealers.
When you heard Karen Reed herself say that she wishes she knew that OJ, that was his chance to tell his side of the story, like she was simping for OJ Simpson. I mean, I knew that's when like all shit had gone.
Yes, yes. Um, Alan Jackson will work his black magic and get a plea deal. Well, I mean, if he keeps him, he's not going to find. They're not going to find this man innocent.
No.
That's the difference between Nick Reiner and Karen Reed. Karen Reed, they acquitted. This dude, they're not going to acquit. They're going to find him guilty. Is I know Alan Jackson's good enough to spin it to where he don't get the death penalty. I have enough faith in Alan Jackson that he's a good enough attorney that that's not going to happen. But I don't have enough faith in Alan Jackson to say this guy's going to be acquitted of the murder of his parents, because there's some information coming out now that he told the mother was alive when they found the bodies.
This until
right?
Earlier.
This shocker. This is the
This is
shocking,
wild.
right? You see the shocking truth exposed in the title, right? Apparently, the mother was alive when the daughter found her, and she told the daughter that Nick had stabbed him. Okay? This is what they consider like a deathbed confession, right? So
Because usually with hearsay, when somebody tells you something, you can't put that on stand unless they're actually physically there to say that they said that.
they will, because this is from the daughter. The daughter is the one that found her mother, and her mother was still alive.
Allegedly.
Okay. Allegedly. Now this
we
is
don't know any of this.
This is
true.
allegedly that the mother was still alive and told that the son had stabbed Nick had stabbed him. All right. Now, crazy case, because he's been in and out of drug rehabs like 15,
No,
16
he said 18
times.
or 19 times.
Well, every time he says it, it goes
more.
up. Yeah, it goes up. So basically, this dude is just a druggie, and there's videos of him saying that he can go from 0 to 1,000 in a split second.
There's
that you
videos of
don't
him-
want to piss him off.
Yeah, there's videos of him saying he trashed the house several different times.
Yeah,
And his brat ass had the nerve to say that he was waiting to get out of rehab or just wanting to come back to go home so he could do whatever he wanted, basically. Like, what a brat.
yeah, and some of the rehabs that they were putting him in were $70,000 a month rehabs, right? So he
That's
he was
crazy.
living the high life. He wasn't going to like some old dirtbag sleaze place and get you off of drugs. He was going to resorts and vacationing off his parents' money. And listen, we don't know the motive right now, but we can tell this was a spoiled ass dude that when he didn't get his way, he had a temper, right? Because he was using to get what he wanted. And he was just blowing through his parents' money. Now, there is rumors that he had an estate, which was from his granddad, because his granddad was a famous actor. And some of the money apparently had went to him. This is how he can afford to pay Alan Jackson, right? Because you were thinking, well, everybody's like, he's homeless, drug addict. Well, this homeless drug addict got more money than probably all of us. All right. Simple as that. And 320 likes and 670 watching. Thanks for letting me know. So yeah, he is a drug addict, and yeah, he may not have a physical home, but he does have an income. Now, that income he probably blows through fairly quickly, but a lot of times when you get these like these estates, or your family leaves you money, they give it to you in certain amounts at a time, like monthly. So he may be getting a monthly check from his grandfather.
I think he has siblings that are also part of the estate.
It
Also.
was three of them, right? It was
Total.
3 siblings that they split part of this estate, and I think he's being paid in a monthly period on that estate. And because I thought he was dead broke, I was like, okay, the dude ain't been in a movie in so long. He's living off his father, whatever money he did have, installments. Thank you. He's done blew through it on drugs, math, and crack, and whatever else he's doing that is making his mind so unstable. But you can't make yourself schizophrenic and then go, I'm schizophrenic, because that's what they said Richard Allen was trying to do. Remember, they said he wasn't.
But they gave him medication to make him seem like he was that way also. Like, so
Yeah,
they're saying he's not psychotic, but
but they were giving him
medicine
psychotic
for
medicine.
psychosis. Like,
Yeah.
how does that work?
Well, I mean, and then what I would say, argue as a prosecutor is, hey, yeah, you may be schizophrenic. Drugs make all kind of people crazy. Everybody that's ever killed anybody under the influence of drug wasn't in their right state of mind. So did we hold you any less responsible than everybody else that was on drugs that murdered people?
No.
I mean, you look at Wade Wilson, he was drugged out of his mind when he was strangling chicks, right? So should we go, well, he wasn't in the right state of mind. He was crazy at the time. No, because you made yourself that way. So I don't see this dude walking away from anything less than life, right? 2 life sentences for his mother and his father. You're looking at 20 years. Maybe he can get 20, 25 years, and maybe they can run him concurrent. And if Alan Jackson's a good enough attorney to get that done, but most likely I would say he's going to do 2 consecutive 25-year sentences. So for the next 50 years.
There's no way they can let that man out. He's unstable. I mean, he can't function in society now that his parents, the only thing that were really keeping him in line in any sort of way, are gone. I mean, God knows what he would do now.
If they get him off of it, he may get some of the estate of his parents right now.
Crazy.
Nina Drew, thank you. Yellow chats, everyone. Happy holidays. Yes, and I am giving away a hat tonight. Not this one that I'm wearing tonight, because this was a gift from Nina.
From Nina.
From Nina, right? So don't worry,
Nina.
I
want to show the hat and the not the hat, the scarves.
Oh, from Dr. Latina.
Yes, put me on keep talking.
Okay, I'll keep talking for a minute. I'll turn you off so you can go get that. Thank you, Nina, for this nice hat that I got. And Carrie, thank you for being here. Trust fund baby. He absolutely is.
And you have to tell him why Dr. Latina decided to knit you a scarf.
I think it was when I was in Boston, wasn't it?
It was that case was going on.
During the Karen Reed case, because I believe Miss Latina, much as we love her, she's a little bit of a Karen Reed simp. Yeah. I'm just playing, Dr. Latina, if you're watching this or you watch the replay. But I love the scarf you got me. Well, you made me, right? And same thing to you, Nina. I love the hat. The hat fits me great. I look like a damn Corvette car salesman when I get out the car. But Nina, not Nina, but Dr. Latino said, Dolly, I want to make you a scarf. What color do you want? And she started coming here during the Karen Reed thing. Because, people would be like, Karen Reed's innocent, Dolly. You're giving an innocent woman a hard time, blah, 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 blah. Right? And listen, just because we disagree on something, we're all adults here, right? We don't have to fight or hate each other because we have a different view on something. Just like you may think, well, Nick needs to be let go because his medicines made him crazy and psychotic, right? And that's fine. I respect your thoughts. But see, I have a mic, so I share my thoughts. And I hope y'all can respect those. Even if you don't, don't agree with them, right? Just because we don't agree as adults, don't mean we got to hate each other. Be like, I guarantee you, if we sat down and talked, we'd probably agree on a million things, and then there'd be a handful of things that we didn't agree on, right? And I think we would agree on more. So that's why I'm saying I'm always respectful for the people, even the people that thought that Karen Reed was innocent. Well, technically, you're right. She was in a court of law. She was found to not be guilty. Okay, so technically she's an innocent woman. Now, in my mind, will I ever believe that? No, I just think our justice system's broke. And if you have enough money and you have a bunch of idiot YouTubers raising money for you still, that you can buy your freedom in this country. Well, we know that. We've seen that with OJ and all these things. Okay, hold on. And that's how I feel about the whole Karen Reed thing is, sometimes guilty people get away with it. Okay, so I want to show y'all these scarves. This is the scarf that Dr. Latina made me. This thing is nice. It's nice and comfy. It's messing up a little bit in my green screen, but it's...
Oh, because it's yellow. I forgot.
Yeah, yellow and black, right? Because she asked me what color I wanted. And I was thinking Wu-Tang Dolly ain't nothing to mess with, right? Dolly ain't nothing to mess with. And so black and yellow, right? And this is the one she made, PJ, which is the one you throw it around, you just stick it over your head and wear it. And this is made out of what? What was it?
She said it was part of it was silk. I think it's the purple has silk in it.
Oh,
Partially silk.
cotton and silk.
It's got it's got
Okay,
a
show
go
them
to the dry
show them what it
cleaners.
looks like.
Oh, like
You wear it like one of those type scarves. So I like this one. I like how it has a little bit of stretch to it, and I can be like, all right.
Did you tell them that you told all the Karen fan ladies to go knit sweaters?
Yeah, because I told people that these old women that were supporting Karen Reed, they should be knitting and crocheting and shit like that. So Dr. Latino said, okay, since you said that, and she's a Karen Reed simp, nothing against you, Dr. Latino. You can like whoever you want. She made me this right now. I wish all them old Karen Reed women would make me something. We'd be good to go, right? I'd have scarves, beanies, gloves, mittens. You know what I'm saying? And that's what, honestly, I think your time is better spent because this is awesome. This one's awesome. I think your time was better spent making me this than simping for Karen Reed. This, to be 100% dead honest, right? This is some talent here, right? And you were wasting time taking up for that lady when you could be selling scarves. I can put these on.
Wait till she gets in here.
I could be putting these on my buydollysoap.com and selling these things for $39.99. So anyway, right now, I bet you Nick wish he had one of these scarves because he's sitting in jail. But I don't think it'll be long before they try to get him a bond reduction or a bond hearing, because right now he has no bond, right? So
he started at $4 million and then it got taken right back. It was like, just kidding.
His bond started at $4 million,
Psych.
and then they took that bond and took it from him. So now he has no bond, but he hasn't had a bond hearing. Now listen, I've been in jail. I've been in jail with some high bonds for some bar fights that I got into. And basically what you do is you'll have a high bond. Say your bond's $25,000, which that's what my bond was when I hit this dude with a guitar. Like the honky tonk man. All right, but it was $25,000. So I sat in jail with a $25,000 bond, and then I put in for a bond hearing, right? And in that bond hearing, my lawyer asked for a bond reduction. I was ended up, believe it or not, giving a PR bond because I wasn't a flight risk. But at first, they held me on a $25,000 bond. So I'm sure that Alan Jackson's going to go in there, say, listen, he's not a flight risk. He's not going to leave. He's appeared in all his court dates. And they'll either give him another bond, okay, even on the double murder, believe it or not.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Or they'll completely deny it, and he'll be still stuck there with no bond.
We know that's a suspect of double murder.
Well, he hasn't pled guilty yet. Okay,
he's not going to plead guilty.
He hasn't pled guilty yet. No,
he hasn't had his arraignment.
He hasn't had his arraignment, which is January 7th, which I'm sure there's going to be a damn media circus outside that courthouse.
Jackson has something to do with it. There's going to be fake PR people.
Fake people. Okay. I mean, that's a little bit of conspiracy, but yeah, people out there, we love you, Nick, signs and stuff like that. And people, it's hard to believe that you can pay people to protest for you.
You can.
Right? We've seen this in this world we live in today with, look, nothing against anybody that's on the left, but Antifa.
Well, didn't you tell them the story before about the Hootie and the Blowfish drummer?
Oh, I mean, I may have where people make it feel like you're somebody bigger than what you are.
Yeah, I'm guarantee you that's what happened.
Yeah, I mean, so there's a little story I like to share because I've seen it on a show, which this dude he wanted to pick up chicks, right? And show you how easy he could pick up chicks when most chicks would just blow him off. So what he would do is it's funny because nobody knows who the drummer of Hootie and the Blowfish are, right? But everybody knows who Hootie and the Blowfish is.
Right.
The name, right? You know the name, but you might know Hootie, but you don't know the band members, right? So he would walk up to girls and be like, hey, I'm so-and-so, can I get your number? And then they would be like, no. So what he would do was he would hire these girls to run up to him and want to take pictures, right? So when they took pictures with him and he would sign their autographs, now the girl's phone number he wanted would be like, oh, he's somebody important, right? So it's just a way of these hired people make you look more important you are. It's like if I had somebody follow me around with a camera taking pictures of me and people coming up to me asking me to sign things, but I paid those people to do it. Now, when I walk in a building, people are going to be running up to me wondering who I am and if I'm famous, and then they're going to want pictures with me. See, it's a whole mental thing. It's a perception thing. If you perceive somebody bigger than what they are, you treat them a different way.
See, and Heather would never said my boys had a friend in high school whose dad is a paid protester.
A paid protester. See, people, there's paid actors in things you wouldn't believe they are. It's like you're paying your own paparazzi, you're paying your own people, but then once people start to see that, they think you are that. You ever heard the saying, fake it till you make it? That didn't come from nowhere. That came from somewhere. So I believe that you will see paid people out there with, signs and things like this
To
that
buff up your crowd.
yeah, like you will see it like he's some celebrity, big celebrity, when really he's a nobody. You know what I'm saying? But they don't want him to appear to be a nobody. They want him to appear to be more than he is. And I think that's why we'll see some of this. MGL, let's see. He's going to get off on temporary insanity for what his dad did to him on the script of being Charlie. And what I read, don't forget the other topic, please. I seen your email, but I didn't get a chance to check it out yet, MGL. So I don't think we're going to be discussing that tonight. Okay. Like I said, I was busy. But I don't see him getting off on insanity. Okay. Not off. I can see him not getting a death penalty or not getting 100 years because they'll spend something.
Right, and wasn't
But
that movie in 2016?
yeah, this
So
he is pretty much done. But just to show you he's done and that, the mother said he did it.
well, the chat really got a little bit rowdy when you said that.
Okay,
Earlier, 'cause
well,
I never heard it. I hadn't heard it since earlier.
well,
The first time I
Okay, well, we'll let them know where we got it from. Don't worry. Don't worry. It's coming. All right, let's do this.
Can you make sure I'm plugged in?
Your headphones?
Yeah, so I can hear it.
Okay. All right, you're plugged in now.
Hey, guilty of crime.
Hey, guilty.
I can hear now.
All right, you can hear it?
Yes.
All right, let's do it.
Billy Bush, who of course is a great entertainment reporter in particular, weighing in on the fact that Romy Reiner, who is, I think, only 19 or 20, she's the one who found her parents with their throats slit and bodies stabbed multiple times. And there's new information in this soundbite. Listen here from Billy Bush.
I got this from a friend who lives in the community. I heard that the son, Nick, went into his parents' house, stabbed both mom and dad, and that the daughter, I guess, lives on the property or at the house or in the back house, and that she found them, and that the mom was still alive. And apparently she called the ambulance and went in the ambulance with her mother. Michelle died in the ambulance, but had enough time to tell her daughter that it was Nick, their son, who stabbed them. And that's why they figured it out so quickly, and he's in custody.
My God. Romy's 28, FYI, but that's a critical piece of the prosecution's case right there, you guys. If it's called a dying declaration, it comes into court, even though it's hearsay, because it's an out-of-court statement by someone. But a dying declaration comes in over hearsay objections. So if Romy Reiner is actually going to take the stand and repeat that her mother told her as she lay dying that it was Romy's brother, Nick. Oh my God.
Today,
Okay. So that would be pretty damaging in the court.
And the chat saying, no, that's wrong.
And the
that's not
daughter
what
is the
happened."
one that found the body. So she was the first one on the scene. okay,
Yeah.
of the crime, which 28 years old Romy is like, can you imagine what she's gonna have to deal with for the rest of her life, far as counseling
No.
and things like that? Like, I wouldn't wish that on anybody. Like, that is absolutely horrible to think. But if the case is this, that her mother was laying there dying,
A lot of the chat saying it's not true. We didn't. We're just sharing what is on the internet.
we're just
We
sharing.
don't know what happened.
we
We
wouldn't-
weren't there.
None of you were there either, so you don't sit and come up in here and act like you know what happened when you weren't there either. Right now, all this is speculation till the evidence comes out in court. We know that, but we got to discuss what is being said.
'Cause
Okay,
that's all the possibilities. It could go
Right,
in so
so-
many different directions, and that's basically all that we do anyway. Just
yeah,
discuss
this is a discussion
stuff.
channel. We discuss true crime, right? And if people are out here saying it, we got to let you know what people are saying. That's part of the thing. Do we believe it? I mean,
I don't think that I do, only because that was the first time I've heard of that account, and I think that would be repeated. But I thought,
well,
Megyn
we heard a
Kelly-
lot of accounts in the beginning that wasn't actual
Yeah.
factual, even from the police,
Yeah.
right? So, the police don't have to be truthful. Nobody really has to be truthful. So, Need and Drew, thank you for gifting that one membership. So right now, it's all speculation. We don't
Yeah.
have any evidence, like we know none of us in here seen Nick do it.
Yeah.
None of us was at the house in Hollywood, right? So, it says, child taken for over 40 years, and open your lines about Nick. He hated his father because of that movie. We understand that he may have hated his father.
She's talking about our next topic. We're gonna get to
That's
it.
another topic. We're talking multiple things tonight. We're talking Nick Reiner. We're talking about a child that was taken, and it took him 40 years to recover the child, but the child was alive. We're talking other things. We're going to be talking Jack and Lilly Sullivan. We're talking a bunch of stuff tonight. So don't get too far ahead of yourself
He's
there,
trying to
MGL.
control the reins there.
Yeah, like, listen,
Like,
look.
move along with your topic, Dolly.
We free range here. We're like them free range chickens. We eat when we want to eat. Okay. We just walk around and do what we want to do. Crow when we want to crow. You on Dolly time now, MGL. All right. You on Dolly
She thinks
time.
you talk too much.
And that's my job, is to come up here and talk and tell you guys, what's going on, what we think, and all that good stuff in the true crime murder mystery world, because there's nobody greater than Dolly at it. Okay, let's just be honest. Y'all have tuned into the greatest ever to do this. When I leave this world, they're gonna be like, "Yo, Dolly was the greatest to ever do it. He was really better than Nancy," but shh, don't tell her. Don't tell Nancy. I said that. All right. Now I'm in the top 5. I'm in the top 5. I would say you got Nancy as the OG. Then you got Vinny, and I think I'm neck and neck with Vinny. I'm probably gonna pass Vinny eventually.
He's gonna get you a crime con.
He
I'm
gonna
gonna
get
tell him.
Hey, don't. I hope you ain't watching this, Vinny. Give me a spot. They don't like me. Okay, they don't like me. At least you liked. Okay, at least you liked. All right. Anyway, so is the schizophrenia enough to get him off of this? I don't think it is enough. I mean, that's the talk right now. Oh, he's been diagnosed with schizophrenia.
And they changed his
Well,
medicine.
Yeah, but all these, listen, when you got all doctors in Hollywood, look at Michael Jackson's doctor.
Yep.
Right? Look, we're talking about Hollywood doctors. We're
I'll
not-
be surprised if they don't try to charge the doctor or blame
Oh
the
my
doctor.
God. Yeah. They're going to be blaming the doctor. They're going to have experts from ARCA in there trying to back over him with a cannon gun, all kinds of stuff. Right. They're
Shooting potatoes. at
shooting
him.
potatoes at the doctor. Like, how
stop.
is this potato schizophrenic? It's going to be something crazy, because if you don't turn it into a circus, he's
All
done.
you've got is the facts.
Yeah, if you just go by the facts, but here's the thing, like I said, everything right now is just speculation, because nobody's seen there's no eyewitnesses to the crime.
Right, but there's no break-in. There's no, just because you don't have factual evidence of exactly what happened, you have evidence of what didn't happen.
Yeah, there's no signs of strangers, plus the blood that was found, plus we seen him get arrested at that gas station.
I put a. if
Remember
you
how many
refresh that
people said
playlist-
remember how many people said he was arrested at the hotel,
I remember.
and he wasn't arrested at the
He
hotel?
wasn't.
So I mean, we got to remember that there is a lot of speculation going around, right? He was arrested at a gas station. He went peacefully at the gas station.
I've
So
never seen such a peaceful arrest. That was strange. I actually put that on the playlist.
yeah, but rumors, when they start to spread and they start to fly, because if one YouTuber says it, it must be true, right? And then it kind of goes, and then people come in here. He was arrested at the hotel, Dolly. He was arrested at the hotel.
And then they argue with it like they've
Yeah,
known
like
it.
they know, right? Like none of us really know. Let's just be honest. We don't know.
Yeah.
We're speculating. We're throwing theories out there. What we do know is the Reiners are dead and they were murdered in their home, and only so many people had access to the family like that. And he was definitely one of the people that had access to the family, and he definitely had a drug problem, and he definitely, from his own admission, had anger problems. I mean, he would say it like, "I will tear this shit up. I will, I don't get my way. You don't want to piss me off." And he would make that clear. I don't know who he thought he was, but he had this, my daddy's rich, so, his money's my money kind of mentality.
And see, Jackie Oliver just said what I was just getting ready to say. Yeah, Dolly, did they have cameras in the house? Do you know? Because that would be just crazy, because it would prove everything. And that's exactly what I'm thinking. They had to. Their house was said to have been like a fortress.
Outside the perimeter probably had a bunch of cameras. Not too many people. I mean, there's some people that have cameras in their house, but usually those are for break-ins, right? Yeah, when you're famous, sometimes people have cameras in the house, but sometimes they don't.
Yeah.
Sometimes they don't. They have cameras around the perimeter of the house, so if they catch you trying to break into the house, but some people are funny about being watched or stuff being
My
recorded.
sister has cameras in her house.
I mean, we got cameras in this house.
She watches the dog all the time.
Yeah, I mean, and we ain't rich, right?
Yeah.
So, and we got cameras in our house, so there's
I would think they would
possibly
have cameras.
there could be cameras, but when you're dealing with these rich Hollywood type people, a lot of them people don't want everything on camera, right? Now, some people say he was a good dude. Some people say he was a aight dude. Some people say he's a bad dude. So was there doing bad things in the house? You don't want that on video. You think P. Diddy wants it inside of his house recorded?
No.
When he's baby oiling people up, you think he wants that on tape?
But I think he was recording it to have blackmail on people.
On certain people, yes, he was. But I mean, I'm just saying in general, why didn't he have, a lot of times when he was having these parties, he would go to hotels and have these parties. He wouldn't even have them at like his house. He would have them at different hotels and different stuff like that. Or like, when he had mansions, but he would still host some of these parties.
Hey, Dr. Latina.
At certain places. We were just talking about you, Dr. Latina. Thank you for being here with us, and thank you for the excellent scarf. I love it. I love the colors of it. It's bright. It pops. It's really soft. And I could tie a PJ up with it when she gets out of control. All right.
You've lost your mind.
So, but I wanted to jump into this video, and this just goes over some of the case.
Some of Rob's closest friends formed a united front. Billy Crystal, Larry David, Albert Brooks, and Martin Short released this poignant joint statement. Part of it reads, "Strong and determined, Michelle and Rob Reiner devoted a great deal of their lives for the betterment of our fellow citizens. They were a special force together, dynamic, unselfish, and inspiring. We were their friends, and we will miss them forever."
This was like my family.
Just a few weeks ago, Rob's good friend and award-winning cinematographer Barry Markowitz was visiting LA and staying with his beloved Reiner family.
Nick was there. He looked great. It's like I'm so broken. I'm so freaked out, like everyone, and that this happened.
Barry
That
spoke
music
to
in the
CNN
background
about
gonna be
those now special.
Huh?
Is that music in the background going to be a problem?
Absolutely, but it's not been played now. Ain't nothing we
Yeah.
can do about it.
Memories just 3 days after his friends were stabbed to death. The horrific murder allegedly committed by their own son. The Nick Mark spent time with recently was not the man who's been accused of the unthinkable crime.
I knew there were issues because he's had him for a long time, but he was on the up, He was just sweet. He's such a freaking great person. It's hard for me to even comprehend this stuff. but mental illness is a terrible thing.
Barry and Rob worked together for many years and even teamed up for the film Being Charlie, based on Nick's addiction and recovery.
There was nothing, and I say nothing, that family would not do for their children.
Dick didn't sleep last night. It was such a weird, awful weekend, you know?
Dick Van Dyke's wife, Arlene, revealed the Reiners' deaths hit them hard on the same weekend Dick turned 100.
The Dick Van Dyke Show.
Rob's dad, Carl Reiner, created the legend.
Dick Van Dyke is still alive?
He's 100, they just said.
Wow. I thought that dude was dead. I didn't know he was still alive. I used to watch the Dick Van Dyke Show when I was a kid. That man is still wow. I would have never thought he was still alive.
His
100
wife
years
doesn't
old.
look 100, but that's none of my business.
He's a millionaire. His wife ain't supposed to look 100. You know what happens in Hollywood.
Uh-huh.
They like him young.
Legendary Dick Van Dyke Show.
And we talked to Rob 2 weeks ago. And you know that they did everything for that kid, too.
All right.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I just have a couple of quick words. First of all, and most importantly, this is a devastating
He's a
tragedy
weasel.
that has
Oh my God, I
befallen
don't like
the
him at
Reiner
all.
family. We all recognize that. Our hearts go out to the entire Reiner family. There are very, very complex and serious issues.
Brad, there is no way Nick is going to walk
There's
free.
no way.
I don't think.
He may be going to a mental hospital for the rest of his life.
Yeah, he may go to a mental institution. They may, if they may get that lucky. But look at like Tell Us Your Business, but she wasn't rich.
She
didn't
wasn't
come-
rich. That was the difference. That's what I was
Yeah,
trying to
we
say
live in a
earlier.
society where if you're poor, you're done. But if you're rich and hire a weasel ass attorney
He
like
just looks like a
Alan
weasel.
Jackson, you may walk. I mean, I don't know if he's gonna, like I said, walk. I think there's too much against him with allegedly with the blood they found in the hotel room.
Thank you, Madonna.
So Madonna gifted $5 memberships. Thank you so much. And if you got a membership, make sure you thank her. She's working hard. All right. Thank you for the super chats tonight, guys.
JKW said OJ walked away.
OJ walked away. He bought his freedom.
Yeah, but it wasn't so cut and dry.
And now, well, because he tried to make it out to be a racial thing.
Yeah.
That this racist Mark Furman planted a glove there, and they were trying to frame him because he was a black man, kind of thing. And he used the race card as much as he could use humanly possible in one trial, and then of course he had the best attorneys in the world.
Yeah.
What did you think was going to happen?
I mean, Casey Anthony walked too, and she
had high dollar attorneys too,
for free. He was supposedly a pro bono attorney.
and then the circus that was around it. There was the media storm around it. When you get into stuff like that, it taints the jury pool, is what it does. And this is what he's trying to do right now. I guarantee you he's the one that leaked that information about Dick being diagnosed with schizophrenia to TMZ. I guarantee it.
That are associated with this case.
Ooh.
Karen Reed was factually innocent. Okay.
Stop. Did you his neck wrinkle just now? That was weird. He's a reptilian.
He's a
something.
reptilian.
That was
I think so
weird.
too.
These need to be thoroughly but very carefully dealt with and examined and looked at and analyzed.
Those are all the
We
same
ask
words.
that during this process, you allow the system to move forward in the way that it was designed to move forward, not with a rush to judgment, not with jumping to conclusions, but with restraint and with dignity.
Look at his
and
neck.
with the respect that this system and this
He aged 50 years after Karen Reed.
He did.
Karen Reed sucked the life out of him.
process deserves and that the family deserves. So with that, we are set for January 7th for an arraignment. That's the next court date. And that's all I have to say at this point. There may be more at some other point, but today.
JKW says, Dolly, how many times did you bite your tongue saying Karen Reed was innocent?
I don't think you really say it that often. Just because she was proven innocent in a court of law. Because
I mean,
she
I
wasn't
said
convicted.
she
I
was
don't think
innocent
she's
from the
innocent.
start.
No, you didn't.
I know I did.
Shut up.
That lady guilty as hell.
I
That's our
rage
that's
quit.
our broken system right there. That's just a broken
She
system.
said she hit him. I mean, like, why don't y'all believe her? That's what I don't
rest
understand.
on where we stand procedurally, which is this was a continuance of arraignment. Nothing happened today substantively.
Thank you, Sage, for posting that link. Guys, people have been asking me, Dolly, what do you want for Christmas? Okay. Usually people send me little horror things and stuff like that. But this year, if you want to get Dolly something for Christmas, there's a link right here to my Give, Send, Go. That is my travel fund so I can go out to places and cover cases. Donate $5-10 to that and just be like, Merry Christmas, Dolly. And I thank you guys so much because, you know, I'm probably going to be doing a lot of traveling this year because of the Michael Monkey Vaughn stuff, other cases that I'm going to be covering in DC. And so the travel fund's really important this year to get everything done that we want to do in 2026. So all I'm asking is if you want to get Dolly something for Christmas, just throw $5 or $10 or $1 million into that Give, Send, Go. Okay.
We'll be back for an arraignment in the same department on the 7th of January. We'll see you then. Happy New Year.
All right. So,
Happy New Year, Weasel.
yeah, he's doing his job. His job is to be a weasel. You know, you can't really blame him for doing what he does.
I don't think you're
Joining us
on
is
the
Heather
list
Michaels,
part.
neighbor and a friend of the Reiner family.
He struggled with mental health issues most of his life. He struggled with a lot. There were times when some things that he said were just a little odd. It's just unthinkable. It's unfathomable. These are two parents that were absolutely fantastic. Were loving, compassionate.
Breaking news tonight, no remorse. No remorse whatsoever. Nick Reiner
Whatsoever.
Eyebrows.
in court in the last hours, uttering only 3 words in front of the judge. This as the suspect is facing claims he slit his parents' throats in their sleep. Rob Reiner, his wife, Michelle Singer-Reiner, murdered. Good evening. I'm Nancy Grace. This is Crime Stories. I want to thank you for being with us.
Nancy!
Murder of Hollywood legend Rob Reiner and his wife, Michelle.
It was a horrific scene. There was blood everywhere.
I'm going to go ahead and open up the phone
Dude, what are
lines.
you playing? That's not.
Swooping in is high-profile lawyer Alan Jackson, who has represented the likes of Karen Reed, Harvey Weinstein, so many others. And this is what he has to say.
I mean, Harvey Weinstein was found guilty.
Mm-hmm.
There are very, very
Why do we have to
complex
watch him
and
again?
serious issues that are associated with this case.
Oh my God.
These need to be thoroughly but very carefully dealt with and examined and looked at and analyzed. This was a continuance of arraignment. Nothing happened today substantively. We'll be back for an arraignment in the same department on the 7th of January.
See, my next
We'll see
video
you
I
then.
had was for
I'm gonna
TV with
analyze
12
that.
hours.
That's what it says at Fox
I thought we already
News.
watched this
Joining me
the
in
other day.
All-Star panel, he says there are very, very complex, serious issues associated with this case. In other words, how am I going to get paid? And what in the hay am I going to tell a jury? My client was covered in his parents' blood. He acted normally. There goes the mental defense. Those are the complex issues Alan Jackson is thinking about tonight.
I
And
love
you know,
her.
Nancy was a prosecutor.
She's
So,
my favorite.
so you heard her say, well, he was acting normal. There goes the
Insanity defense.
there goes the insanity defense right there. You know, like if you crazy all the time. You know, like is he hearing voices? How long is he hearing multiple voices?
Remember when we watched that lady that was the Amish community? that girl-
Yes.
And remember how she stayed on scene? Like she just kind of was like, "Oh, what happened?"
She
Where?"
was crazy.
She was crazy.
Legitimately.
So I feel like a lot of times where the people are really truly crazy and they commit something so heinous, it's like, oh
They
my
don't-
God, what did you do?
they
They're just
don't-
kind of like, huh? I don't.
They
what did-"
don't realize to cover the crime up or to flee.
Right.
They don't realize they done anything wrong.
Right.
When
They
you
don't
know
go to the hotel and wash all the shit off.
when
and,
you know right from wrong, you're not insane.
right.
right? You're able to stand trial. You knew what you did was wrong. That's why you hauled ass and got out of there
Right.
and went, 40 miles up the
To
road
get a Gatorade.
to get a Gatorade, right? Because you were tired from stabbing people. So I'm not seeing this as a case where he's going to walk. I mean, he's definitely not going to walk. And there's no doubt in my mind of that. All right, here you go, PJ.
Oh. This is PJ. Who is this and where are you calling from?
Hey, this is Michelle, Lola, MTL.
Hey.
Hey, what's up?
Nothing.
Hey, what's up, Dolly?
Not a whole lot. Another day in paradise, America.
Uh-huh. So I wanted to touch base on this thing, right? And I've been saying he's going to get off on Saturday, right?
Uh-huh.
I'm so tired. Like, I was going to bed. That's why I was like, hit that other case that I DM'd you with, right? Because I want to share some love. But here's my take on Nick. And
Okay.
I've always had gut feelings, and I've always been right, Dolly. So hear me out. Okay. So his dad was popular, and I only did 5 minutes of reading on this case, and I know he's gonna get off on
In 5 minutes, you know
Saturday.
that. You're confident with that 5 minutes of reading you did.
Want bet? Want bet?
No, I don't do no betting up here.
All right, so listen. So the dad started a production film or whatever you call it, but you've heard of Castle Rock Entertainment, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that was Rob Reiner's production team, right? And I only read that Rob Reiner was saying it was so hard to get films like produced with Castle Rock. And I think it was like, I can't remember. If you Google it, you'll see it's two huge actors that did a film through Castle Rock, and he couldn't get it sold to get it like on large screen TVs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it said that he was so big, Rob Reiner, and his dad, I can't remember the dad's name,
Carl.
but he was Carl, right? So Carl was also super huge. And I can see Rob, because he was a complete dick, saying to his son, why can't you get better like us? Blah, 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 right? So the movie Becoming Charlie, I read about it. The son actually wrote the screenplay, and he had someone else that was going to produce it. And Rob was struggling because he was saying that he couldn't get Castle Rock to get movies produced on the lots, on the movie lots or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so his son Nick had someone else that was going to do the movie for him, and Rob took over. And you can it's like a really short that you look about the movie. But Rob not only took over his son's screenplay to have Castle Rock produce it or whatever, but he changed all of the script that Nick had written, and the movie became a flop. And I think that, and I think Nick resented him, because that was the thing that Nick was going to do to prove to his dad that he was.
Yeah, but that is not enough to give you a reason to kill your dad.
That was 10 years ago.
Yeah, in the movie's 10 years ago.
2016.
I knew that, but what I'm saying is that was his thing to prove to his dad. And I think there was so much mental abuse and so much expectations out of him because of Rob.
Yeah, but when you're grown, just like the Menendez brothers, you're supposed to leave, pack a bag, and get the fuck out. You don't like the rules under my house, leave. You don't need.
Right. So it made me think about Gene Hackman, and remember how when he died, his kids were estranged from him, and they didn't want to do anything for his funeral and stuff. So he grew up in LA, and the parents didn't divorce, right? But it makes me think his kid always took a second seat. He was always the redheaded stepchild.
I don't care if he was the bottom of the barrel and they walked by him and laughed at him.
Right, you lost me. Because what is Gene
don't
Hackman?
give you any right to kill your parents.
And
It don't give you the right to hurt anybody.
No. Listen, murder is wrong. Murmur is wrong. It's It's wrong. But I can see a troubled child that
This ain't a
wouldn't
child.
relate.
This is a
No,
grown ass man.
Even 10 years ago, a grown-ass
listen,
man.
I'm going back
Okay.
into his childhood.
Yeah,
I
well,
can see a troubled
he didn't kill
child.
nobody in his childhood, though. That's the problem. We need to go with what he did just the other day.
He's like 46
What-
years old. You can't go to childhood.
No. It built is what I'm trying to say.
You're saying
He
it
had
stemmed
drug,
from his childhood.
Yeah.
I get what
right,
you're saying, but I'm saying you
right.
can't use that as a crutch. You may use
No.
that with a crutch for a lot of people, but you ain't gonna use that with a crutch for me. I don't give a
But
damn
what
what he did 46 years ago. I'm talking about what he did just last week.
I understand that, but he always had substance abuse problems, right? And
That,
so I
whose
think he
fault is
always,
that?
man, like I got sober recently,
Yeah, but
and
whose
it's
fault was it
hard.
that you wasn't sober? It was your fault. You chose to do what you did. Just like when I smoked, I choose to smoke. You can't.
So I blocked out a lot of trauma in my childhood,
We might want to
and I
end this
drank
one.
to make it go away. Is what I'm saying. Like,
Well, I mean, a lot of people
and
drink for different reasons, but you chose that. Just like he
yeah,
chose what he done.
but once you become an addict, then you can't
But
stop.
who made you an
Mm.
addict? That's the question. Who made you an addict?
I
You
was
did. You have to take
I was.
responsibility for those things. It ain't
Oh,
no.
I do, but I was predispositioned. It's hereditary. It's DNA.
No, I don't know that.
We're not gonna agree on this one.
I come from a long line of drunks, and I barely drink.
And you know my son doesn't either.
I mean, I don't know what your son does. I don't know
No,
your son.
I'm saying that, but I've just done I just read enough to where I think he was such a tortured, troubled soul as a child that he turned to drugs. And then when he got sober, he wrote a manuscript about his life. And then his dad had a failing company with Castle Rock and said, "Hey, I'm going to make some money off my
I mean,
kid."
I know what you're trying to say. You're trying to say that his life was so bad as a
Mama,
kid that made him into a
Mama
drug
is,
addict, and all these problems he had is because of his family, and
but
he
then
has
he
to take
finally
zero
did.
responsibility for his own actions, and
No,
they
I
should
didn't
let
say
him
that.
go because he had
No,
he was spanked as a child
no,
one time, right? He wasn't perfect.
no. I just said he finally did something right. Like he wrote a manuscript and he was proud of his work.
I mean, I can
To
understand
put
being proud of your work and your dad changing
to
it.
put
But to kill him?
no, that's not right. I'm not saying murmur is right, but I'm saying I think he just freaking just lost it. I mean, there is temporary
He did.
insanity.
Everybody's insane when they kill somebody. Tell me a normal person has killed somebody.
I just said I think he's gonna walk on temporary insanity.
I don't think so. We'll see though, Michelle. Okay. So when it happens, you can call back in and I'll be like, see, I told you, Michelle, you need to listen to Dolly because Dolly bats 1,000.
And when he walks, I'm gonna say, see, I told you so.
You can. And I'll take the call. I'll be right here to hear it. But right now,
all right, well,
I say he goes down. He may go to a mental
He's
institution.
gonna go to a mental.
That's what I'm saying. Mental, temporary insanity.
Well, he ain't walking like as
that's
in
not
free.
walking.
He's not walking
No, but
free.
he needs help. It's mental though. I don't
Yeah, he
really
needs
see
help. It's called a prison cell.
I'm gonna watch the rest of you, Sue.
All right, Michelle, you be good.
You see, bye.
All right, peace. Okay, listen.
Yeah, the chat all
Worked up
because
because you need to take responsibility for yourself. I mean, it's true. I don't speak nothing but the truth. Listen, every bad mistake I've done in this world, you know whose fault it was?
Yours.
Mine, right? You know, I take responsibility for my fuck ups. When I fuck up, I go, hey, I did that to myself, right? Like I ain't got nobody to blame but me. I look in the mirror and go, hey, you the dude that did this to me, you need to do better. That's why I try to work on being a better person because I know the mistakes I made are my fault. And if I keep trying to pin things and not take responsibility for my actions, what is that? That just means I'm going to repeat that action. I'm going to do it again and blame somebody else. Oh, this time it was this person's fault. Oh, I wouldn't have ran if the police weren't chasing me. You know what I'm saying? Like No, you got to take responsibility for your action. When you put something in your body, it's you that put that in your body. What? Dr. Latina? Damn, thank you, Dr. Latina. 4 minutes ago
She said
says,
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Awesome. Dr. Latino donated to the, is that the,
Your Christmas thing you just told everybody.
my Gibson Go, which is my travel fund. Thank you, Dr. Latina. You are absolutely awesome. Big virtual hugs to you. And when I do travel, I'm gonna wear my cool ass scarf and be like, "Look, you know where I got this, Dr. Latina, right there. You should have signed it. You should have signed it somewhere." Yeah, I really like this. When PJ pulled it out, I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm rocking that."
You
That's
were
all.
just talking about needing a scarf.
It's all fancy. It makes me look like I'm not broke. Okay, like I look like I got a little bit of money. Like I could hire Alan Jackson now. Really, I can't. Right? I would hire Freddie Jackson. A little more of a Freddie Jackson. Anybody got Freddie's number? So, yeah. Listen, you in this world, you got to take responsibility for yourself. Don't push your blame on somebody else. Does people cause trauma in this world? Yes. There's kids that grow up with trauma and they have to deal with that. And maybe there's a little bit to that. Now, I don't want to be so cold to be like, well, you're not. I think kids are born a blank slate. Just because their family with drunks and drug addicts don't necessarily, if you took that child away from them people and put them in a good home, that kid most likely is going to turn out good. Now you leave him in a home where there's drugs and alcohol, most likely, yeah, he's going to be a product of his environment.
Well, I think what she was trying to say. Well, I think you know what she was saying.
I know what she's trying to say.
my
I just
thing-
disagree with that mindset.
It's like when you're in some type of situation where you need to get out or get away from whatever it is and you mask it with drugs or alcohol, it's what you choose to do ultimately, no
Yeah.
matter what it is.
I believe what you say and put into this world is a powerful thing.
It is.
Right? And then when I say things, I believe what I say.
Right.
Right? That's why I achieve my goals, is because I just don't say something and don't chase it. You know? It's you just can't put blame on everybody else and not take none for yourself. Right? Now, if let's just say you have some childhood trauma, right? You could do the right thing and reach out to a counselor, reach out to a professional, reach out to the Dr. Latina so she can make you a nice scarf to keep you warm, right? Or you can choose the bad route and go, okay, let me smoke this crack. Okay, right there, you made a terrible decision.
Right.
And the key word is you made that decision, right? Even though you got trauma, you could have made a better decision. And you got to for your decision. Dolly.
Hey, Dolly. I wanted to talk about, I guess her name was Michelle.
Uh-huh.
Oh, Lord.
That called just a few minutes ago.
Uh-huh.
We know all about Michelle.
Anyway. Huh?
We know all about her. If you're going to come up here and try and tell her backstory, we already know.
Yeah, we know her backstory. we know.
Oh, well, I was just going to, okay, gotcha. But I thought that it was kind of rude, that y'all got all onto her and stuff, but I understand you said you knew her, so forget
No,
that.
it's not rude. It's not rude. This is how I really think.
Well,
Now, if you call me,
the reason I think they're feeling that way is because she had suffered with the same type of stuff Nick is suffering with, and now she's gotten help and supposedly is sober
doing
and all
better,
this.
yeah, that's
And
great.
that's
That's
where
great.
she decided to change what she was doing and not go off and kill somebody instead of dealing with her problems the way that this Nick person may have been,
Right.
I mean, yeah, even I told her, I
Right.
understand what you're saying. I understand where you're
Mhm.
trying to go with it. I just disagree with that whole mentality of I'm a victim.
because you've got somebody to blame.
Yeah, and because you
No.
and like I said, listen, when she chose the bottle, she could have chose a psychiatrist. She could have chose counseling. She could have made better decisions. So what she did do is she made a bad decision. Listen, I love all you guys, but listen, I make bad decisions, right? All of us do.
Well, we all do, yeah.
Right? So,
We
but
all
who
do.
do we have to blame for those bad decisions is my point. We have ourselves
Well,
to
that was
blame.
what a normal person, okay? There's mentally ill people, there's normal people.
What's
and
your
then there's
definition
people
of
that have
normal?
problems. Hmm?
What's your definition of normal?
Yeah, I don't know if anybody that's really normal.
People that, well, you know what I mean. Everybody's
think-
got
I don't
issues,
really.
but the
'cause-
normal people can get up, they can go to work, they can, you know, do things, you know. But mentally ill people cannot think like that. And I'm
I
telling you,
have some
I
days where I
haven't.
don't want to get up and go to work.
My thing is this.
Well, I know,
my
but
thing
let
is,
me explain something.
if you
I
make
am a
yourself,
manic bipolar. I have manic bipolar disorder. My brain does not work like my husband's brain or my children's brain. This
None of
is
our
something that's affected your brain. Okay.
let me
Not
ask you this though. Hold on, let me speak for a second.
okay.
Did you
Okay.
cause that to yourself, or is that something you was born with?
No. Depression and stuff like that is a learned behavior. Bipolar, you are born with it.
Okay, what I'm saying
it's in
is
your brain.
the case we're discussing is a man who did a bunch of drugs that made himself crazy. Okay, that's different than
Okay.
being saying you were born with a disability. Okay, if you're born with a disability, that's
right.
totally different than somebody that goes out and smokes crack until they don't know who they are and
they get
they start
psychosis.
chasing
Yeah.
flies on the windowsill. You
most
know what I'm saying? That's totally different. It's a totally
right.
different thing.
Most people, listen, most people, it starts at an early age and it's not noticed until later on, 25, 30 years old.
Are you
Okay.
out here
So this
killing
guy,
people? Because it's like I feel like
no. Some people do.
right.
Because they get on drugs, they start getting into excuse me, different like
And why
they don't
do
believe
the
in
question is
God
this,
or they
you gotta
don't,
ask yourself
you know,
this, why do people get on drugs? Because they make a bad decision, right?
because 99% of them are mentally ill.
That do drugs.
If
That choose drugs.
that, yes,
99% of the people
they
that
do
choose drugs are
drugs to
mentally ill.
kill the pain. They do. Listen, I lost my daughter from fentanyl poisoning, but what I'm
Listen,
saying,
you know, I did my share fair of drugs, and you know why I did it? To
I
get
know.
high. To get high. Not to kill no
To
pain.
get high.
To get high. That's
Well, there had to be a bigger
it's
reason.
people that
I
don't want to take
promise you.
responsibility for what they do. You
Okay,
know?
no, I don't. I disagree with that because people that are in pain, are you still there?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm not
I
talking
couldn't hear
about the
anything.
situation you're going through because each individual situation is different.
No,
I'm talking about Nick
I-
Reiner's situation.
okay, I know
Okay.
that, but what I'm trying to say is the same thing the lady said before. His mental illness just didn't come about.
I
He
know,
was
he
a
messed it
child that
up.
had issues.
He didn't sleep for
He was
6
a
months.
child who had issues. He decided at a certain age that he was going to do drugs to kill the pain. Okay, it's
How do
the
you know
same
that?
thing
How do you know
with
that?
brain?
Yeah,
because
how would you know
listen, because I know people that are in hospitals, and these are the people that are on drugs. They're trying to get off. They don't know, half the time they don't know what they did or when they did it.
Hold on. Let me tell you this. What was it?
Okay.
2 years ago, I lost 6 friends back to back. 90% of them were from drugs. All the friends I had,
Right.
they didn't have childhood trauma. You know what they had? They had drug problems.
Well, I
Did
promise you, there is a
did they go do
reason.
drugs because they wanted to get high. That was the reason.
Right, but there's a reason why they want to get high, and that's to just ease the pain. They don't want to think about stuff. They don't want to deal with stuff.
Okay, so you saying everybody that drinks has problems?
No, we're talking about drugs.
Do you don't think
drugs. I'm
drinking
not
is a
talking
drug?
about.
I think drinking is worse than most drugs.
Right, you're right, but
When
I'm not
people go
talking
out and
about
enjoy that,
alcoholics. Alcoholics don't go
same.
out and kill people unless
Yes,
they're
they do.
driving.
Yes, they do.
I know.
Domestic violence is the leading cause of domestic violence is alcohol.
Right, but I can't explain the alcoholic because I
get
don't
what
know
you're saying.
anything
People have
about.
trauma and they turn to drugs. I had a friend like that too that had trauma and
But
she
you
turned
can't
to
say
drugs.
everybody's that way or that
Yeah, but
But not every. Listen, Dolly, not everybody has what they call trauma. It's how they see it. You know what I'm saying? Oh, this is not trauma, so let me go get high. But guess what? They have a reason that they go and do drugs. It's a mind thing. Their brain is, I promise you, and I've heard this, I've been to psychiatrists and everything. They don't tell you to get over it or be done with it, blah, blah, blah. I'm not addicted to drugs.
Mm-hmm.
I take my medication, for being bipolar, manic bipolar. I mean, I can be blah, 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 blah 1 minute and then laying in the bed for 2 days. It's just the mindset that we have see, your brain is what causes you to be bipolar or psychotic or psychosis or schizophrenia and stuff. That's your brain.
I understand that.
It's not something that you just get. You're born in that. Okay, so Nick, he looks off anyway to me. I'm looking at his pictures and I'm thinking, something's wrong with him. And to me, I haven't seen any of his children, him as a child, but I do see oh God, I'm not a psychic either. So, but everybody has that look. It's like they're looking at the camera, but their eyes are dark. I mean, it's like you can tell
evil.
that there's a black.
It's called evil.
Right.
It's called the devil.
Right.
And that's what that man is.
Right. I understand you saying that. And yeah, I believe he is.
I have no sympathy for somebody who could go in there and
I don't either.
Their mom and dad in.
No, I'm not giving him sympathy. I'm just saying he was born with, we don't know how he acted as a child, but I heard somebody say,
this? You're not a doctor. I'm
okay,
not a doctor.
listen.
You know that.
know the guy either.
Well, I should be a doctor because I've lived with this for 60 years.
I think I'm closer because Dr. Latino knitted me this scarf. That almost makes me a doctor.
It's Draw Latina. Draw, D-R-A. But she's a doctor. So anyway, so Nick, I heard that he was a troubled child. Did you not hear that?
He's got 3 siblings. Did they make it okay?
Yeah, in the same house.
Wait. Their brain's different. I have 2 brothers that are not bipolar. I'm just trying to say.
I get your point. You're using what's going on with you as the same as Nick, and you're not same as Nick. You're 2 different people. I understand your situation from birth. His situation is from drugs. He's been in and out for 16, 17 times. You say no,
okay,
I say yeah. We're just going to have to agree to disagree.
We can't prove that because we weren't him. We were in his family. We don't know what he was as a kid.
Okay.
We don't know how he acted as a kid. So
yeah, and I don't give a damn what happened.
That's right.
There's
Bingo.
no reason
Somebody
for
said
him to murder his parents.
I heard some. Okay, I know that. Okay, he didn't have a reason to murder him. His brain was saying, "I'm done with them. They're pieces of shit." Blah blah blah.
You know what his brain can say now? When are the trays coming? Because his ass is going to prison. All right, you be good. And it was good talking to you.
Okay.
All right, peace.
Okay. Oh, by the way, it's Challenge Daily. Bye.
Bye, Challenge Daily. All right. So she's using what's going on with her to compare herself to Nick because she was born with bipolarness. Okay.
Right.
I get that. Okay.
We've not heard though anybody say, and there's been so many rumors and family friends, nobody's ever said
he was such a great guy. Right.
No,
we just heard the guy say he was good. He was happy. He was like, right. So
if he had mental health issues as a child, that's the first thing they would utilize as a defense for him. Like he's been mentally unwell as a child. From childhood, he's always been mentally, like he's been diagnosed.
I guarantee you this: that little fucker hasn't took responsibility for nothing he's ever done in his life, right? And that's the problem we're at right now. And listen, I know there's people out here with disabilities and that people that went through real trauma. And yeah, you're gonna have to deal with that trauma, but in dealing with that trauma, you need to make good decisions.
Oh, you gotta brace
Okay.
yourself for this one.
Okay.
Apparently there's even like video of it, which is weird as hell, but apparently his dad was kissing him on the lips and people are saying he's gonna go with the Menendez brothers defense.
Oh no. I mean, some people like they do kiss you. It depends on where they're from in this world. Like I think it's a little weird too, but it ain't something I would do. Like usually when I kiss my daughter, I kiss her on the head, right? She kind of leans in, I kiss her on top of the head. Um, the whole kissing on the mouth or kissing you on the face. Even when she was a baby, I didn't kiss her in the mouth. That's a little weird because she's all slobbery and shit.
Somebody kissed my kid on the mouth one time. I almost lost my mind. Like a random neighbor. It was the weirdest thing ever. Oh my god, that
But
reminded me
certain
of that.
people do
Yeah,
kiss
'cause
like that.
yes.
You're like it's weird. Like it depends where you're at. Like French people that on the cheek and shit. And this is men kissing men, and now I look at that differently. But in their culture, that's common. That's common.
I just
you
don't
know?
like people touching me, I guess. But oh my god.
It ain't one of those situations. I don't think this is a Menendez brother type situation. And look what happened with the Menendez brothers when they went with that defense.
They're still in jail.
They're still in prison right now.
Or
Right?
prison. Yeah.
Yeah, they're in prison, sitting right there in LA, right in prison as we speak. Like, listen, trauma's different for everybody. And I understand people have trauma, like, but my thing is
And
this.
that's why that lady started her conversation with everybody's brain is different.
It
But then she
is.
went to the defense of like, oh, his brain is just like hers. Like she was
Yeah,
relating to
yeah, I can
her
understand
situation.
because she has a mental disorder,
Yeah.
and people want to believe this man has a mental disorder, but he wasn't mental when he was writing a script for a movie. He
Right.
wasn't mental when he was out, doing what he was doing. He wasn't mental enough to know he needed to leave. And like I said, like we talked about that Amish woman that killed the kid and the husband drowned and they said the fish
She was
swallowed him.
mental.
She was mental. She didn't even understand what she did.
She
She
still
didn't
stood
know.
there.
She stood there and waited for the police. She didn't know what she was doing was wrong.
No.
Okay. This dude knew what he was doing was
Mm-hmm.
wrong. That's the difference in it. There's a certain level to crazy. Yeah, he may be crazy. He may be insane, but he ain't incompetent to stand trial, is what I want you guys to understand. And don't think I have anything against anybody that's been through trauma. Trust me, I feel sorry for your trauma. Nobody's had a perfect
Everybody's been
life.
through trauma.
Right? Everybody has a little bit of trauma in their life, dealing with death and different things, right? Some trauma may be worse than other traumas. But when we make a bad decision, it's nobody's fault. We made a bad decision, but our own.
'Cause
Listen,
you can always choose to veer right or go left.
you have to be the one to break the cycle. It's like,
Right.
listen, there's like, I didn't know my father. He was a drunk. I grew up around a lot of
You
drunks.
could have been a shitty father
Right,
from that.
right. Yeah, I could have been a shitty father from that. I could have did the same exact things, but I didn't. I was
Right.
one of those people that you would
You want to
say
be opposite.
I broke the cycle.
Yep.
Right? Like I don't just because I come from this don't gotta mean that I'm gonna be this. Like like so many people in my family didn't go to college. I did. You don't have to be what you come from. You can be better than that. You can be just like I tell my daughter right now, you can be anything in this world you want to be if you put your mind to it. Now I ain't saying that I can go be a fucking
An astronaut.
because I never trained in space technology and things like that. But anything that you're willing to put your time and your effort into, that you can achieve it in this world. We still live in the greatest country in the planet, and I truly believe that. And when a lot of times my biggest problem with people is they won't take responsibility for their own actions. It's hard to look in the mirror and go, man, it's my fault.
It's easier to point the finger somewhere else.
It's hard to go, man, I fucked up. You just don't want to believe it. You don't want to tell yourself that. But sometimes you have to. And that's why it's important to have real friends around you. People that will like Dolly, I'll tell you, like, listen, somebody else will pat you on the ass and baby you. I'm going to tell you the truth because that's what you need. If you got a whole bunch of yes men around you, then that's what you're going to believe. But, I understand that I cannot defend the killer. I want you guys to understand that. Baby killers, alleged baby killers, kill your parents. Listen, I would do anything in this world to see my mom one more time. Anything. to see somebody that can go in there and slice their mother's throat, you will get zero sympathy from me on this dude whatsoever. If I could pull the switch on him, if they could prove to me he did it without a shadow of a doubt, that blood they found in the hotels was there, he was there, I would walk into the execution chamber and I would pull the switch on him fast and I wouldn't even blink an eye, and I would sleep like a baby at night. That's how I am. I'm an eye for an eye person. I make that very clear to everybody that tunes into this channel. I believe in capital punishment. I believe in justice. I believe that if you're a criminal and you do something horrible, you pay the price. Every time I went to jail and I sat on that bunk, you know whose fault it was? Mine. Shouldn't have fucked up. I ain't got nobody. You sit when you in there, you realize that you're not mad at people on the outside when you're sitting in jail. You're mad at yourself. You're fighting your own demons. That's why they don't lock you in solitary, but for so long, because your demons will win every time. You don't want to fight your demons. It's hard. They're badass. They're good. They're like ninjas, right? So you can fight them demons, but you can only fight them for so long. So people have to take responsibility for their actions. And if you're born with a silver spoon in your mouth, okay, a silver spoon, never been told no. No, Dad, I need this. I can't do it. And then you're going to go off and tear up the house. Well, you know what that is? That's a brat.
Several times.
That's a brat.
Yep.
And we're dealing with somebody that when he didn't get what he want, he lashed out. And so, right now, the most likely the motive is he didn't get what he wanted again, and he lashed out again. And this time he lashed out in the worst way, and he took somebody's life, the worst crime you can commit, right? And he's going to have to pay for that. And I understand mental illness, right? I got mental ill people in my family. I got people that think UFOs are coming to fucking get them mental in my family. Okay. When they do something crazy and they go to jail, I'm like, man, you should have did nothing crazy. They need to send them to the mental hospital. And most likely if he is crazy and real doctors, because the prosecution's going to have doctors see him. And if they say he's fit to stand trial, then he deserves to be in prison. If the doctors say, hey, he's crazy, then he'll go to a mental hospital until a doctor decides he's not crazy anymore and he can be a part of society and not kill people. But to think this guy is just going to walk because he was insane at the moment that he killed somebody. If you killing somebody, you crazy anyway.
Yeah.
What normal person goes out and kills somebody? What normal person does it in such a horrible, terrible way, up close and personal, slice your mama's throat? Okay? Think about that. When you say something to justify what this man's action, this man sliced his mother's throat.
Oh, he had trauma. And the chat literally is just
how much trauma can you have when you grew up in a mansion?
I can't.
You didn't get a Bentley, you got a Porsche instead of a Bentley? What trauma can you have? I mean, I guess sexual trauma, but I don't think that's
what
the
they're
case.
going with.
That's the whole.
Now, I just saw someone in chat say you watch Rob was a sick man. He's dead.
Oh my God! Please put
can't go
respect
there.
on that man's name. He has never been accused of anything.
And it's not something you just suddenly accuse somebody of once they're dead.
Yeah, somebody hit the
sorry.
grave and then you go, oh, he was a pedo or
That's
this and
just
that.
so
That man
gross.
had never been charged with nothing, never been convicted of nothing like that. So I would say don't put that on that man and his death. Have some respect for the dead. Have a little respect for the dead. One day we're all going to meet that grave, right? Even if you hate my guts now, at least when I die, have a little respect for me. All right. That's all I can say. It's like people forget about the victim. People, what if this was your mother? What if this was your father, right? And one of your siblings did this to him. That's horrible. It's just horrible. You go ask the sister how she feels about it. And I guarantee you she'll feel different than you feel about it. You don't see the sister coming out. You don't see none of his family coming out in his defense. You know why? Because they're mourning the loss of their mother and their father. That's why you don't see it. And I'm sure right now, if they could punch Alan Jackson in the mouth, I'm sure they would. I mean, that's hard to come to terms with, but it's the truth, right? Just think about it right now. If your brother or sister went and brutally murdered your mom and dad in the fashion he did it in, and they did so much for him. If they didn't care about him, would they be paying $70,000 a month to put him in a rehab? I don't think so. I don't think so. Now let's open the lines. I know this is a heated debate, right? But that's just listen. We may disagree on this, right? We may disagree. Everybody's entitled to their own opinions, right? And I don't think my opinion's no better than yours. If you think it's trauma and he should be free, I respect that. I respect your, it don't mean that you're right. Not to me. This is very sad. Heather, whatever. Yes. It really is. And I think the most important thing in this, and this is what I fight with, what makes me so mad with people is they forget about the victims.
Yeah.
They dehumanize the people that are laying in a coffin that probably ain't even been buried yet.
But I find it fascinating that they're relating to these people on trial, but then they say they would never kill anybody. So like, how can you relate?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
I don't know. You just don't find me taking up for killers. I think it's bad. I just personally, and I know by now everybody knows me and they know my views on these crimes before I even say it. They're gonna be like, Dolly's gonna be like, oh no, you know what I'm saying? And that's how I am. I mean, it's no surprise to how I feel about it. Is anybody that's watched me for 4 years surprised how I feel about it? Listen, you can play crazy. Everybody that kills somebody plays crazy. What about the woman with the bat? What was her name? Remember, she kept put the dude in the suitcase, started hitting him with a bat.
Sarah.
Then she acted all crazy, like she didn't know she was beating the dude to damn death with a bat. Okay. Sarah Boone. Yeah. Sarah. Right? Like everybody plays this role when they get caught. They're all innocent and it's everybody else's fault, but theirs. I don't agree with that. The whole mentality of that, oh, well, it's okay to kill somebody because you was treated not as good as your brother. Okay. Your parent had a favorite. You wasn't a favorite child. So let me butcher my family. I'm not in the wheel. So let me kill them. That is sick mentality. That is just your brain is fucked up. Okay. Because that ain't how it should work. If you ain't the most loved and, once you hit 18, go find somebody that will give you the love and affection that you need. Right. If you didn't get it from your parents.
Leave.
Yeah, leave. 18, I'm out the door. But no, he was dependent on his parents. That's why he stuck around. And when he didn't get what he wanted, he got angry or he got mad.
Ripped apart their house.
He would take it out on them.
Full house, yeah.
He would take it out on them. And that's now if they would have stabbed him, would you have been screaming, oh man, poor Rob and his wife, poor Reiners, they had to stab their son.
He was such an asshole and brat. They stabbed him. Yeah.
Turtle Gang, thank you. All right, let's open the phone lines back up. I just wanted to touch in on that. I just wanted to, let you guys know how I feel about that whole subject. And phones are busy tonight. Dolly.
Hey, Dolly, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Mama J from California.
Hey, Mama J.
Let's talk about drugs and the other side of drugs. Okay.
Uh-huh.
All right. I used to live in a community where they were everywhere, kind of like little LA. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Now I've lost 3 people to drugs. Okay. You and I both know, okay, that it is a gateway drug, possibly. Okay. But what happens, I believe, is that friends get together, they start partying and they're enjoying it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when they try to get off of it, okay, 9 times out of 10, again, okay, nobody wants, anything to do with them because they're the outcast. Okay. Well, they're not the outcast. If you think about it, okay, these people, yeah, a lot of them have mental illness, but I don't think that they get that mental illness until they've done the drugs for a long period of time.
Yeah,
okay?
It don't help your brain, that's for sure.
No,
that's why
no.
You remember the commercial? It was an egg. They crack an egg. This is your brain.
Yep.
And then they put it in the frying pan. They say, this is your brain on drugs.
Yeah, I remember that. And the thing is and I just started thinking about this about a year ago. Because I used to get stupid. Don't ask me for no money or no. And I thought, Jody, what the hell are you doing?
Mhm.
You know, I said, these people, you know, they get high. Okay, their family not, you know, has probably given up on them and said, oh, well, they're going to rip us off because they don't understand the disease. Okay, so they try and get off of it. Well, then they get sick. Okay, and they don't have nothing going. They
Well,
don't
I
have
mean,
anywhere to go,
the
and
sickness
so
depends
it's
on what
easier.
drug they're doing. All drugs don't make you
Meth,
sick.
meth, meth,
And I
meth,
don't
meth.
I don't think that sickness comes from there's only two drugs that you kick that will kill you trying to kick, and that's alcohol and heroin.
Right, right. But what I'm
Opiates.
saying is that right. But what I'm saying is that
Just say no.
huh?
I said
Just
just say
hang up.
no. I
Oh,
said
I
just
thought you
say
said,
no.
yeah, yeah, but you know what? I mean, how many times, and I mean, really, if you're going out to smoke weed, how many times did you do it by yourself when you first did it? Yeah, think about that.
I would say I'm like
No,
good. I smoke
no,
weed.
don't, no. You know, and I know you were with friends when you probably got high for the first time.
Yeah,
I
I
did.
was with friends. Yeah, I was.
Okay, all right. Okay, and you're like, wow, this feels pretty good. You know, I think I'll do this again and again and again. And meth people, they do that too. I don't really think that a person needs to be mentally ill to start doing drugs. I mean, come on. You know,
I don't
mentally
either.
ill.
I
I mean, come on.
I'm,
You know, I
that's
mean,
what that caller said that people that
look,
did drugs were mentally ill.
look, I'm bipolar. Okay, I don't hide behind bipolar. Okay, I'm sorry, I don't hide behind it. I am who I am. You either like me or you don't. You know, whatever. I don't care. You know, but I will not hide behind that. And I really think, like I said before, I think that people, you know, they get on meth and then they get sick. Excuse me. They get, you know, they get the flu and they're doing whatever they do. And they're like, well, we don't have anywhere to go or anybody, you know, to see us. So why don't get high again? You know?
Well,
I mean,
I know people
huh?
don't plan when they do it. They don't plan on being addicts. I understand that.
No, but
what
see,
I'm
I really
saying
think
is, you can't go, well, let me do enough drugs to fry my brain, and then when you do something, be like, well, I'm schizophrenic.
no, that's not what I mean. What I'm saying is that you know, like I said, I think that a lot of them, you know, they're out there, they're homeless, they got all this crap going on, you know, and they're like, well, they have nothing more to live for. You know, I mean, I have a friend right now that she's on the street big time. I won't let her in my house. I don't, because I don't want her, you know, I don't want her ripping me off, you know, and you know, she would, and it really, I mean, I'm not going to say it wouldn't be her fault because she's doing what she knows how to get her drug. But I mean, if you look at it on that side of it, you know, there's just, you know, I feel for them, you know. I mean, the ones that are on the street, you know, I mean, every once in a while I'll run into somebody that.
Being a drug addict's one thing, but being a murderer is a whole different.
Well, yeah, but that guy went to rehab 18 times.
Yeah, what does that tell you?
Okay.
He ain't
that tells me I don't let him in my house.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, don't.
But
No.
listen,
And I understand.
There's people that go to rehab 20, 30 times and don't kill anybody.
No, I know that. You know, I know that.
I understand people want to give him some grace, but I'm not giving him none.
No, I don't give him any grace either. But just what I'm trying to say is that I don't believe that people are mentally ill and they go do drugs because they're mentally ill. They do drugs because they want to.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I mean, hello. You know,
like when I want to drink water, I drink water. When
that's right.
I'm trying to quit drinking soda right now, and I'm thinking, what am I on day 10, 8?
Oh, that's hard.
You know, so I mean,
that's hard. That's hard.
I chose to drink soda. Now I'm choosing to drink water.
Yeah, you know, you make your own choice, but I mean, I don't remember who that was, and I'm not trying to beat her down, but you know, I don't hide behind the bipolar. You know, I don't, because I'm alive. You're alive. PJ's alive. We're here. You know, don't do that. You know, and yeah, I don't. You know, I mean, that guy. All right, he became mentally ill after he went on the drugs. He wasn't mentally ill
Yeah, that's
Come
that's
on.
what I'm saying too. So we're on the same page with that. Like,
Yeah,
you can't make
yeah.
yourself crazy and then cry, I'm crazy. That's all I'm
Well,
saying.
you're not gonna be crazy and then go out there and do drugs. Hello, it's the other way. You know,
Yeah.
I remember when I first started smoking weed. Shoot, man, we'd have the thing going around and we'd be having a good old time, and that's only as far as I went. But
Okay,
I made my choice.
we don't want to promote anything here, so we gotta just say
Oh
no.
no,
But look,
I'm sorry.
let's we'll end this
The
conversation.
green bug.
You be good, and I will talk to you next time.
All right, you guys take care, and if I don't talk to you, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
And
to
I
you
like
too.
your scarf.
Thank you.
Okay, bye bye.
Yeah, listen, she said right there, she's bipolar, but she don't hide behind her bipolar. When you make a mistake in this world, own the mistake. You know what I'm saying? Trauma is real. I'm not trying to take away from anybody that has trauma, right? But when you have trauma, you need to make the right choices still. Even if you have trauma, you don't want to have trauma and then make bad decisions too.
Drugs is
And,
just like putting a band-aid.
and I understand this because listen, you know me, I smoked for what years, and I quit. I said one day, I said, okay, the doctor told me it ain't good for my health. I said, all right, I'm gonna quit. I made a
You could have
choice.
chose not to.
I could have chose not to. You know what I'm saying? But I made a good decision for my health and continue. I cheated on dinner tonight though. For the first time in like a year, I ate a cheeseburger. I had to do it. One cheat night, right? And I ate some onion rings too, which was the worst. The onion rings
I
were
don't
probably
know
the
why
worst.
the colors are so loud. I can't even keep the thing on my ear. I feel like they're screaming.
There's a volume knob on your
That's
headphone.
all right.
Right here. Look. You just turn it down a little bit.
Oh, okay.
There's a little knob right there. You can turn it.
Okay, I don't need it when you're talking. Just when the callers call.
Okay, well, to turn it
Well,
down
now
right there.
I don't know how to fix it. Now I can't hear you. That's why I put this back on.
Right here.
Oh.
Left finger right there is the knob.
This
in
is
the
my
front.
headset. How did you know this?
Right here. Put your finger on it. Like, bring your hand right there. Feel the knob right there.
Yes.
Okay, there you
Thank
go.
you.
Yeah, there's a knob. You
I
can turn
just
the
turned you
collar
down
up.
completely.
Okay, you're probably better off. So trust me, if you got trauma out there, and
Everybody has some
yeah,
form
well,
of
some people
trauma.
have worse trauma. We're talking,
I
SA
agree.
abuse and things like that.
And you can't just instantly put that on somebody. Like I knew that's where there was gonna go. I really did. And I
Yeah,
called
but
it
we
the other
don't.
day.
Like I said, we don't know. There's no reports of this man ever saying his daddy abused him. And let me tell you this: he was a grown man. If his daddy abused him, why is he still around him?
Exactly.
Listen, let me tell you this: if you abuse me as a kid,
I'm
usually,
not standing around
do
till
you notice that
32.
most runaways are abused kids?
Yes.
Right? They get abused and they don't want that abuse, so they pack their shit and they run away. They don't never look back or never talk to their parents again. That's what I would do. I would be like, I wouldn't be going because you rich. Like, you touch my butt cheeks, I'm not messing with you anymore. I wouldn't want to have anything to do with you. I would turn 18. I'd go get me a job. I'd build my own family and start my own life. I wouldn't be dependent on somebody that's doing these things to me. Right. And basically that's why I don't think that's the case, because he would have been away from his daddy and had nothing to do with his father. And there's a lot of people out here. Now, some people, go through that trauma and they hate their parents, and then they get over it, they heal, and then they build a relationship with their family again. Which is a little scary, because usually if people abuse you once, they'll abuse you twice. So that's a real delicate area in what we're dealing with, but this ain't the case, right? We can look at this case and see that that's not the case. Now, I know people want to feel sorry for him, but like I said, I don't feel that sorry for him. Now, with that said, let me open the phone lines back up. But tonight, everybody has kind of been sympathizing with this guy a little
That
bit.
last caller actually wasn't.
And I know she wasn't, but a lot of people have
Before
been.
that caller,
Yeah. Dolly.
Well, it's about time I got you.
What's up, Miss Ann Horn?
I just woke up from a long nap.
Okay, well, I hope you're feeling okay. Doing good.
Halfway.
Okay, so
That's good.
what do you think about this whole situation, Miss Ann Horn?
I don't know. I just tuned in, so I'm really not sure what y'all talking about.
Lord.
Oh Lord, you just called the call.
No.
Oh,
No.
I want to know what's going on.
you ain't doing your homework. So what's going on?
She
You
wants you to
late.
tell her the whole story.
Okay, Rob
I'm gonna
Reiner.
plug my phone in.
Rob Reiner was murdered by his son, and the son that they're trying to say the son is schizophrenic now, and he was in and out of rehab 15, 16 times.
And his new medicine made him act crazy.
And his new medicines made him act crazy, Miss Ann Horn, and he unalived his parents.
Well, I knew he did all that.
Oh, what the hell you got me repeating all that for, woman?
Because I didn't know what was going on.
Oh, good Lord.
Don't give me hell.
Lord,
I
Miss
ain't
Ann.
forgot about a headlock on you.
Okay.
Next one's going to be a leg lock and a scissor hole.
Well, this thing right here also works as a neck brace. If you wrap it around multiple times, it blocks the headlock, Miss Ann. That's what the doctor told me.
That don't stop me.
Okay. So what do you think should happen to this young man that unalived his parents, Miss Ann?
The same thing happens to everybody. That's no excuse what he did. And he should go ahead and get the death penalty or get life.
Yeah, yeah. And if he has mental health and he problems and he gets life, they'll have his whole life to help him with those problems.
Well, you know they're going to check him out for all that.
You know, I'm sure they're going to have doctors evaluate him from both sides. So
that's true.
You know, his doctors will say he's crazy. The state's doctors will say he's not. And then we're right there, you know, in where we're at now. Like some people think he's crazy, some people don't. I just feel like if you know you hurt your parents, of course you're crazy because a normal person wouldn't do that. But did you know what you was doing was right or wrong? Does he know right from wrong is the question, and he does. He
does.
He clearly
He
knows
knew
right from wrong.
He ain't stupid.
Yeah.
Look at his age.
Yeah.
Look what he's been handed the golden platter all his life.
Yeah. That boy has never known struggle. He have never seen a struggle a day in his life. And people are like, oh, he has all this trauma. What? From not getting a Porsche and he might, you know what, like what was it? What trauma does he have that his parents like the other child more? Is that really that much trauma?
No, I don't agree with that.
It ain't enough trauma to make you go unalive your parents. So,
Exactly.
And then if you're mad at your dad, why would you cut your mom's throat? That was my problem with the Menendez brothers. I was like, okay, I can understand. You think your dad was touching you. Why'd you kill your mama? And then of course they're like, well, she allowed it. But she
so he stabbed both of them?
He killed, both his parents. He killed the mom and the dad.
Well, I knew he killed both of them, but I'm saying he stabbed both of them, same place.
Yeah, stabbed them and cut their throats, allegedly.
Gee.
You know, and he's a 32-year-old grown man, and
he ain't a man. A man don't do that.
Yeah, I agree. I agree, Miss Ann Horn, and I hope he gets the worst they can give him. You know, I hate to say it. People may not like that, but I hope they throw the book at him and he rots in jail and he understands what it's like not to have nothing. When you've had everything your whole life, hand it to you. Let him experience the rest of his life where he has nothing, and let him see how that feels like.
What's the latest on that Koga burger? Yeah,
he's in jail. He ain't never getting out.
I know. Didn't they have his trial, and what'd they give him?
They gave him life without the possibility of parole.
A good deal.
He took a plea deal. He took a plea so he could save his life to life without the possibility of parole.
Good.
So he'll never see freedom ever again in his life. He'll never be able to hurt anybody else. So to me, I'm good with that. I knew that was going to happen anyway.
Yeah.
Now this guy, I'm not quite as sure because you know Brian Kohlberger wasn't rich. This guy comes from a rich family. Has apparently he had his granddad died, left him a bunch of money, and he gets money every now and then, I guess, from his granddad. So he has a little bit of money. So I don't know
Yeah,
how.
get
And
it
you know,
now.
we live in a world where you can buy your freedom. So I don't know. All right, Miss
What?
Ann, I gotta let you go. My daughter's calling.
All right, honey. Y'all take care. Merry Christmas. If I don't talk to you before then.
All right, Merry Christmas, Miss Ann.
All right. Love you guys.
Hello, Tiff. I'm live for a second. Hold on, let me mute. Okay, that was my daughter. Hopefully, she don't ever come in and because of childhood trauma. I didn't get her a damn Dora the Explorer doll when she on time one Christmas. The next thing you know, I'm getting chopped up, right? And I don't think I have to ever worry about that. Really, I'm just saying that there's been like I said, there's times where you have to tell your kid no, right? No, I can't do it, or I ain't got it, or we can't afford that. But in a situation we're dealing with this guy is basically I'm thinking he's never been told no. And that's why he's a bad adult, and that's why he's angered when he don't get his way. When you used to having to be like, okay, well, you gotta live within your means, you're a little more when somebody tells you no, you usually know there's reasons why you can't do that, or it's not financially, we just don't got it, right? So if you ain't never been in a situation like that, you don't know that feeling. See, me, I know that feeling because I didn't grow up rich, right? So there's times you ask for something and your mom be like, "We ain't got the money right now, but when I get some money, I'll see what I can do, and maybe we'll get you that goat cart next year, or something." When you ask for something big, you know what I'm saying? And you're like, okay, and then maybe next year you may get that, or you may not, if depending on how the finances are. But if you give a kid everything they want, then when they don't get what they want, they're going to be pissed off because they expect to get it. And I just think that's a lot how now me, I try to give my daughter everything I can, of course, right? But she don't never really ask for nothing too crazy. Like that's like super ridiculous. Like this year she's an adult, so she asked for for Christmas, she asked for like toilet paper and carpet cleaning stuff. She asked for adult stuff, right? And of course, I got her all that stuff she wants for Christmas. But if she would have asked for, "Hey dad, can I get a Porsche?" I'd have been like, "Hey Tiff, man, I ain't got no Porsche money. You might want to call your mama," which I know she ain't got Porsche money either. So most likely, Tiff, you ain't getting no Porsche. All right. You got to stay in reality. You know what I'm saying? Now, could you help me with a flat tire? Yeah, Tiff, I might be able to get you a tire for your car, like, so when you don't get what you want, you don't get all pissy, right? So I just have a feeling that this guy was a little bit of a spoiled brat. He wasn't getting what he wanted, and now everybody's using what his mental condition, which is from a Hollywood doctor that for the right price, they'll say anything. Okay. I mean, even for you could go to a doctor and get a doctor to say, if you're paying that doctor, especially out of pocket, he'll say whatever you want him to say. And we've seen this with like doctors that just give anybody meds, right? They give them all these crazy meds. Next thing you know, they're OD'd in the ditch because all the doctor wanted was your payment. They don't really, do these people really care? Look at Michael Jackson's doctor. There's been so many doctors that have been prosecuted for giving medicines to people that didn't even need it. So I don't trust his doctor. Okay. I don't trust Alan Jackson. They're going to say anything to make this dude look like he deserves some type of mercy. I grew up Cobra Kai, yellow and black. The enemy deserves no mercy. Okay. No mercy. All right. Now let me open the phone lines back. Now, if you fry your brain, you fry your brain. Did he fry his brain on drugs? Apparently he did. Dolly.
Hey,
Hey.
this is Paula from Indiana.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm good. I wanted to say about with referring to Nick on this case.
Uh-huh.
At 32 years old, I know I right now in person I know a guy that's my neighbor's nephew, and I know him in person. He's 26.
Uh-huh.
Now, I'll say this, and I'll try to make this as quick as possible. He like you could see like literally like well he's already been diagnosed with like schizo, and like
Mhm.
you could hear him mumble under his breath like when you hang out with him.
Yeah.
And he has mental issues, okay?
Mhm.
But and he even asked me the one time, he said, "Do you think I'm gonna hurt you?" And I said, "No, I don't." I said that to him. My
Mhm.
answer was like, "No, I don't. I don't think you're gonna hurt me." And the reason that I didn't think he was gonna hurt me is because it's almost like people with mental conditions like that. It's like they I don't even know how to explain it, but they do know right from wrong.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I guess that's my point. Like with Nick and even the guy I'm talking about, and this is right now in my current life.
Mhm.
And his name's Zach, and he's 26. He's a grown like adult, a young adult. He's
Mhm.
a young adult, but he knows right from wrong. But he does have mental issues because sometimes when you sit and hang out with him, you'll hear him like whispering to himself, like almost like he's hearing voices,
Yeah.
like he's hearing voices or something.
Mhm.
And then it's like and then but I don't know, but I do think it's kind of a dangerous.
I
I
mean,
mean, you all.
you never know when people are dealing with mental illness how they're going to act. They can be unpredictable, but
Mm,
sometimes people with mental illnesses, sometimes they have the attitude of a small child. Sometimes they're aggressive. I mean, it depends. That's a case by case situation. Not all schizophrenic people are going to pick up a knife and stab you. All
right,
schizophrenic people don't kill people.
right,
So I don't know.
yeah,
I'm not a medical doctor. I never seen this guy or talked to this guy
mm-hmm,
personally, but just from seeing his interviews and things like this, he seemed to understand right from wrong. And if he was going through some psychosis, I believe it's not from mental health, but from drug abuse. And to me, he
yeah,
chose to do them drugs. It would puts him at fault to me, and he's still responsible for the death of his mom and
yeah,
daddy. You
yeah.
know?
I mean, sometimes, like if you're born with certain things, I do think some people have different, brain chemistry,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
they're not, but they use an escape, like, like, like their substance abuse might be an escape from to cope with what they're dealing with or they're like because they're suffering with that already, but
Mhm.
it doesn't help if they're doing a substance abuse. It doesn't help, it makes it worse, but sometimes they turn to that. I know this like I know some things. I know a
Yeah,
lot. I do it.
self-medicating. I understand what you're trying to say.
Yeah, yeah. Because they don't know how to deal with it, And then because they already have that problem. Okay? Like some people really truly have a problem. And I think that's even with my friend Zach, but I feel fine around him. I
But
do
the
think.
problem is this. This is the problem. I'm not saying that mental illness don't happen. I'm not saying there's not schizophrenic people. But what I'm saying is a lot of times when people commit a heinous crime, then they try to be mental or use that as a crutch to justify what they did. And I believe this is one of those situations where this man wasn't mental when he was giving interviews, but now all of a sudden he's done murdered somebody. He's schizophrenic. It don't work that way for me, you know? So,
Well, I could,
I mean,
yeah,
there's reasons why you could want to do drugs, and
I could see.
we don't know if he had.
Mhm.
I mean, listen, how rough could this dude's life have been? His parents live in a $20 million mansion in the hills. It ain't like he grew up struggling and didn't have no toys to play with, and I mean, we don't know though.
Mm.
He didn't
Yeah.
same struggles that most of us in this chat room did. I can tell you that. He's no more traumatized
Right.
than me or you. So does that give him an excuse to do the things he did and then take no responsibility for it? I would say absolutely not.
Well, I mean, and you could be right about that. I mean, but I mean, I could tell you this. I mean, I grew up in a very prominent family. Now I can't really tell you everything, but
So
I do. I could tell you a little bit.
I'm not saying
Um,
somebody in the chat room said money doesn't equal easy life. I'm not saying it does.
yeah.
I'm just saying I don't see this dude having a hard life, you know.
But also what I want to say is that
And we're talking
'cause
about somebody, and you got to remember, we're talking
I
about
know
somebody
you.
that brutally murdered their mom
I
and
know
daddy.
it, and
Okay.
I know it, and it's awful, and I agree. I agree. I totally agree that we'll still know right from wrong. But I will say this: I'm like the black sheep. I have 4 brothers, 4 sisters.
Mm-hmm.
And I am the black sheep. All
And
of them are
you didn't kill your
successful.
parents, did you?
No, but
There
I
you
would
go.
never, because my heart, like in my heart, I could never do that
That's what I'm
to
saying. Even if
anyone.
you're not the most
You know,
loved in your family,
like,
there ain't no reason to go unalive somebody. You know, it just ain't.
yeah, and I've been through
There's no reason.
trauma.
There's no
I've
reason
been
for
through
what he.
trauma. Trust me. Trust me, I've been through trauma. I've been molested, raped, all kinds of things.
I'm sorry to hear that.
And yeah, but anyways, and here's the thing though. I guess what I'm trying to say is, it's so complicated. But I think, as far as knowing right from wrong, you will still know right from wrong. And
Mhm.
my dad was like a lawyer and a teacher. My brother was a cop out of 4 of my brothers. I have 4 brothers. One of my brothers I can't even tell you who he is because he works for undercover. He's undercover. Okay. I got like a successful family. I'm not. Okay. I'm a
Mhm.
nobody. Okay. But I am
No,
a
we're all
somebody.
somebody. You're
I'm
somebody.
still somebody.
Yeah,
I'm
you got to tell
still
yourself that
somebody.
you're somebody.
Yeah.
You
I'm
just
still
you just as
somebody.
good as anybody else. No matter if you got $1 million in your pocket or a dollar in your pocket. We're all the same in this game.
Yeah, I'm not real successful, I'm not real successful. Me,
I
I'm not.
mean, well, you
But
don't
my
weigh
family
success
has
out
been.
by money. Money's not success.
But you don't want to kill your
Success is
family.
being happy
Yeah.
in life. If your
Yeah.
life is happy, I would say you're successful.
I'm happy helping my neighbors. Look. Everybody out there, by the way, Merry
And if you got
Christmas.
good health, that's
Yeah.
success. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think your health like my health to me is more important than any amount of money these days.
Yep.
You would have asked me
Yep.
that a few years ago, I'd have probably said, "Hey, I'm trying to get that money." But now I'd say, "Man, I'm just worried about my health."
I know.
So
I hear you. I hear
money
you.
can't keep you alive forever, you know?
No, it doesn't. I talked to
So
my brother. One of them he's not the one that's a cop, but he's the one that's like undercover. But he's like he actually, his assets are like millions of dollars. He owns 5 homes. They're not like, he doesn't pay any mortgage or nothing. Like, he owns
okay.
them. He
Yeah.
rents them out. he lives in one of them with my nieces and nephews and my sister-in-law, and then the other ones he rents out. But now here's the thing. I talk to him a lot and I say, hey bro, listen to me. I'm gonna tell you something. I know I don't have a lot and I never, got far in life, but that's not gonna get you where you wanna go. Love is what you need in life, is what you need
Definitely.
is love.
Definitely.
And you love your family, love my sister-in-law and my niece. Well, I got one nephew and two nieces by
Uh-huh.
him.
Somebody
And
said,
I
Dolly,
said,
fix your face.
oh,
I was blessed with this face. All right. But hey, look,
yeah.
you be good. It was good talking to you. And I will talk to you next time.
Okay, wait. Can I say one more thing, please? Please.
Yes.
Everybody out there in the chat and you and Dolly and your family and PJ, all your family and everybody in the chat. I hope you do have a very blessed Christmas and a very blessed Happy New Year, a blessed New Year. And one more thing, Jesus loves you. I believe in Jesus.
There you go.
And and one more thing.
There's a lot of one more thing. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm done.
Okay.
Hug your loved ones.
Absolutely. I
All
agree with
right.
that totally. All right. You stay
All right.
blessed. Till next time.
You too.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Okay. So we got to remember in this, right? For you people out here that are sympathizing with Nick and, believe this, he has mental illness things. I mean, in short legs. Okay. This is what I want to touch on. In my opinion, it sounds like he was hearing voices telling him to do bad things. Look at his empty eyes. Okay. Ted Bundy. Look at Ted Bundy's eyes. Look at Brian Kohlberger's eyes. Look at the Hillside Strangler's eyes. Look at all these people are dead inside. They're all a shell. That's a sign right there. The empty eyes, that there's nothing behind. They say the eyes are the windows to the soul, and you can see evil. Some people can't even hide the evil; they radiate evil. And when you look at somebody and they're dead in the eyes, them are scary people to me, right? Dolly has a big heart despite his strong opinions. Yeah, I do. I mean, I have my opinions, and I tell people it's just my opinion. It don't weigh no more than yours, right? Sometimes we'll agree to disagree on things, and sometimes we'll agree on things. The only difference is I have a mic in front of me, and a lot of people listen to my opinion on things. I mean, and not that a lot of people don't listen to you, but I think your opinion weighs just as much as mine, and people have to just choose which opinion's right. You know, I feel more for the victims in a crime, right? I don't usually tend to feel sorry for people that commit crimes, and I'm real open and honest about that. I'm like, hey, I like people that take responsibility when they make mistakes. I think it's the adult thing to do. Now, if he was a kid and he wasn't taking, kids, of course, ain't gonna take responsibility. But as you get older and get wiser, you realize, hey, when you mess up, it's hey, I got to take responsibility for what I done, and try not to do it again, because you don't realize your mistakes. You're doomed to repeat your same mistakes. That's why I say, like, I'm one of those people that have to touch the fire. I'm an idiot. Okay, I do. I sometimes I have to learn the hard way. And every time I've learned the hard way, I've learned a lesson from it. I hardly ever make the same mistakes twice, right? Because I had to learn. I got burnt, right? You get burned enough times, you'll go, okay, well, I ain't going to do that again. I'm not going to do that again. And like I said, as I got older and wiser, I realized that a lot of things that were happening in my life were because of decisions that I was making, not other people. Like I said, it's so easy to blame everybody for your problems. it's hard to look yourself in the mirror and go, man, I've made some mistakes and I need to fix these things. I think it takes a way stronger person to go, man, I got to make a change. And you'll never change until you want to change. There comes that point, you know? Um, and that's how I feel. I mean, I know I'm not an idiot, but I mean, like I said, I make some mistakes. Virtual hugs to these callers. You are the success stories and have a Merry Christmas. Short legs. I agree. Like when a lady said, I'm nobody. No, you're absolutely somebody. You're just as important as me. You're just as important as Rob Reiner. You're just as important as any other soul that is on this planet, right? We're all created equal. That's what people have to realize. That mansion and that Ferrari and that don't make you better than me. It make you live a little comfortable than me, right? You styling and profiling and I ain't. No, I'm still kind of profiling, right? But it don't make you any better than me. We all got to eat, sleep, and use the bathroom, right? So we're all the same in this world. And it's important in this world to know your value too. Some people don't know their value in this world. Me, I'm $1 billion. Okay. That's how you have to look at yourself. You have to love yourself, right? And you ever heard that saying, if you don't love yourself, nobody else will love you. You got to know your worth in this world and know that each and every one of you are worth billions of dollars. You're probably worth more than me. Okay. And don't let nobody cut you short and make you out to be like you're nothing. That's how people control you. That's how people step on you in this world. Don't be nobody's bitch. Don't let nobody step on you. It don't matter if you come from the hills of Tennessee. It don't matter if you come from the red clay of Georgia. It don't matter if you come from a damn Capitol building. You're no different than me. That's why I don't get all like shell shocked by celebrities or famous people. You're no different than me. Right? You might have more money than me. You know, you might have a nicer car, you may have a nicer house, but you know, with that comes problems. You know, in this world, you can be broke and happy. Sometimes when you got money, you got a lot of problems that come with that money. You don't know who your friends are. You don't know who you can trust. Like, I like my day one people, the people that were beside me when I didn't have nothing, because when I get to the top, I know you're going to love me if I lose it all. People that are just with you when you're on top, they may not care about you when you're on the bottom. You know, you'll find out who your real friends are when you're going through some real stuff in this world. But needless to say, I don't think, and this is just my opinion, I don't think this guy is crazy. I think he knew exactly what he was doing. I think he's a spoiled brat. I don't think it has anything to do with his medicine being changed or his Hollywood doctor. I think it has to do with him not getting his way. His anger took over. He lost control and he did the worst thing he could do, and that was hurt his parents. And with that comes consequence. Dolly.
Dolly,
Yes.
are you still talking?
That's what I do up here on YouTube is talk.
Oh no, we're getting our life lessons over here.
I'm preaching. I'm going to pass the collection plate around next. That's what I'm
All
waiting on.
right.
Okay.
I have nothing to give, but just me just listening to you.
Okay.
Hey, let's let you.
Okay, what do you think about this, Sweet Leaf? You crazy as hell.
I know I got crazy family too.
Uh-huh.
In the South at that.
Okay.
Yeah,
you're batshit. I want to hear this.
They're ready to feed you to that. I like it. I know. What is it? Is it the alligators or the crocodiles that will eat you?
Both of them will eat you.
Okay. Let's use an example. I'm going to say Gene Simmons, right?
Uh-huh.
He did a lot of those rugs too.
Okay.
I didn't make him psychotic, but he didn't have a mean streak in him. I think he was always docile. But I believe, and I've seen this, drugs over a long time of use
can make you psychotic
Yes.
and can draw you to be demonized and won't do these kind of things, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he had hallucinations that his own family that he loved and trusted was trying to kill him.
No, I'm not sure that he had those. I mean, there's like a UFC fighter right now that thinks his parents ain't his parents and that demons have took their bodies. I think that's a little crazy.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. They aren't living in reality anymore at that point.
Uh-huh.
But I think that somewhere locked in the mind, if you're going to fight or flight, say you're that kind of person, you're a fight or flight kind of person like you know, it's like, oh, you just touch me and it's done, it's over with, you know? If you have that fight or flight deep inside you, if you've done those drugs like that, like some people do,
Uh-huh.
but you know, it can send you into a psychotic episode like
Absolutely. That I mean, these drugs fry your brain. That's why there's the whole "Just Say No" campaign, because they're not good for you. If they don't mess your brain up, they usually going to end you up in prison or dead.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
Okay.
I'm getting old, Dolly. I'm getting amnesia. I'm not going to say that other disease that people get, but I'm getting old. I'm going to be 66 this next year.
Are you that old? I would have never thought you was that old.
Well, the way I feel, I don't like in my brain. I'm not that old.
Okay.
I'm still like 12 or 13 years old.
I believe
but,
that.
No, you know what I'm saying. I'm still young. You know, I'm like 29 years old. Whatever flavor. I was 18. I loved 18. You know, but
Sweet Leaf, I deal with more crazy people than a psychiatrist. Okay.
I know you do. And you go on for hours giving us lessons. But you know, Dolly, you really have a sweetheart, and you're really out there trying to give us a message and try to let you know you genuinely care.
I
And that's
try
what
to plant the seed. I try to plant it. Some people don't want it. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink.
And I'm gonna do you a portrait. I really am getting into painting. I'm serious about that, and I might have a little YouTube thing. But I'm gonna do you a painting of a UFO landing, and you're gonna be Dolly King up there, and you're gonna see all these UFOs landing that have Sebastian Rogers and Harmony and Baby Q, and all the little UFOs are going to have their little initials on it, and they've all been taken, and the sign is going to say, if nobody loves you, Dolly does.
Dolly does. That's right. All right, Sweet Leaf, you be good.
All right. Happy holidays, guys.
All right. Peace.
Bye.
You know, I wish that was the case, what Sweet Leaf said. I wish these babies were taken by UFOs. I truly do. PJ! You supposed to come, we supposed to jump to the next story. PJ said I talk too much. Come back. I don't care about a duck. Well, come through, do the mom with me. And then 30 more minutes. Hi. Because PJ's been really into this next story that we're going to talk about. We all love Dolly. He's straight up cool dude, a good person. He never stirs you wrong. I try not to. I try to give people good advice. You know, I ain't saying everybody's going to agree with what I say, and I'm not trying to force you to. All right. All right. Come in.
I can't talk when everybody's talking and it's pointless being here. Are you still taking calls?
No, I shut the phone lines for now. All right. There's your mic.
Wait, make sure it's up.
All right. You ready? And we can jump into this next story.
Okay.
All right. Now, you want to give them the rundown and I'll shut up for a minute since I've talked so long?
No, because it's just basically going to give it to you if you play like the, sorry, I gotta get comfortable. The, video. Basically, I think it gives you a rundown on the.
You want to tell the people what we're talking about?
Yeah, there's this lady that got arrested, and she'd been using a fake name for 40 some years, and she was like the top 19 list of the FBI most wanted parental kidnappers, and she kidnapped her 3-year-old
From the father.
from the father, and 40 years later they found her.
40?
She was using a different name. She was calling herself Sharon, and her name was Debra.
So basically, the breakdown is, we see all these Amber Alerts come out, and they're always over parental kidnappings. Okay, it's usually the father don't bring the kid home on time, and next thing you know, they got him locked up for kidnapping his own kid. Or this is a situation where a mother over 40 years ago grabbed a kid, took off, changed her name, and the father hadn't seen his daughter in 40 years. Okay, which is kind of crazy. And I've been talking about it with PJ, like, me and my baby mama, I don't know if Tiff's still in the room, but we battled over custody of Tiff for a good minute until Tiff got old enough. We just stopped fighting. We gave up, right? We didn't have that much fight in us, but we argued and fought over who was going to get Tiff for the longest time. And like, I couldn't imagine her taking off with my child and being
She
gone
wanted to.
40 years, right? I just couldn't imagine that, or it just, or what. And then I was thinking to myself, well, what if she did?
What would make somebody do that?
I mean, I don't know. Just
It
they
just seems-
hate you, and they don't, they don't think you'll be safe around that person. I mean, there's lots of reasons why people could do it.
Yeah.
But I was just thinking, well, if my baby's mom did this to me, what would I want?
How do you even punish that person after 40
That's
years?
what I was talking
It's
to
not
you
like it
about
was
at,
like a
at the
random-
pet store.
Yeah.
Is what type of punishment would I want? And this is what I told PJ. I said I would want my baby mama to sit in jail for 1 year and think about it. Every day that she done that she would have to sit there and think about how she did me dirty and sit there for a year. Would I want her locked up for the rest of her life? Now, if the child was taken care of, I would say 1 year is probably good. 1 to 5,
Okay, you're soft.
depending on who you are.
On women in general, you're literally soft.
I would say I would want her punished, but I wouldn't want her like in prison forever. I just wouldn't. I mean, but that's one of these things where I think when now this woman's been arrested and her daughter, after 40 years, have been reunited with the father, I think it's up to them what the punishment should be. Not so much what a court decides, but what the daughter and the father decide together with, I guess, the assistance of the state is what they should do to this woman. It is completely messed up to take somebody out of your life for 40 years, right? And to do what she
It's
done.
not just you though. It's you took a child that had no way to speak for herself and say, hey, I want to keep my dad in my life, and took the child. So it's a disjustice to the child and the father.
Yeah, but the question is going to be, what should the punishment be? And when we open the phone lines back up, that's what I'm going to ask people, is what the punishment should be. MGL, I asked you to cover something different. Here's a case of a recovered missing child. Thank you. Well, thank you, MGL. And we cover new stuff all the time. Like, must have been gone for a while, but we try to cover all kinds of stuff. But yeah, this is definitely something we haven't spoke on. But I mean, behind the scenes, me and PJ's been talking about it for days. It's just, I tend to bring things that my audience is interested in, and then we work some things in there, or in that whole process. And there's a lot of women in this room here today, right? Most of my viewers are women, so you may have a different opinion than me of what you think would happen. Could you do that to somebody? Because I know, a lot of people be in abusive relationships and they know the man's abusive and they don't want to leave the kid around because they feel like the kid will be abused.
Yeah, but see, you don't know any of that.
I know,
so
I
it's
don't.
hard to
I mean,
say.
I don't know that, and that's what I'm saying. Like,
Even if it, let's say, even if it was alleged and that was the reasoning, it's all about perception. Sometimes, like, women will say that or make themselves believe that, and that's not even the case, or they believe like something is bad when it's just in fact not. It's weird. It's a touchy, and for it being such a long time ago, I had like, this is the one we had to talk through. Like, how would you punish that?
Yeah.
How do you?
And that's what I want to hear from everybody, because everybody's
Yeah.
opinion is going to be a little different on this one. All right, this is the video of the lady going to jail, right? After 40 years, her daughter's grown, is 40 years old, and she eventually gets caught. And this is the video of her going to
She was
jail.
taken from Kentucky, and this is in Florida.
Florida.
How you doing, Miss Sharon? The stunning moment captured on police body cam.
Uh-oh, they're coming for you, Sharon!
They don't want me.
But those officers actually did. Police say her real name isn't Sharon, it's Debra Newton. And she was taken into custody in Florida in connection with a 40-year-old kidnapping case where she was accused of abducting her own daughter in Kentucky.
I didn't do anything.
According to authorities, back in 1983, Newton abducted her then 3-year-old daughter, Michelle, after telling her husband she had a new job. She was named one of the FBI's top 8 most wanted parental kidnapping fugitives.
What's going on, Sharon?
I don't know.
FBI had a slow month that year. She was number 8, right, for kidnapping her own kid. Oh my God.
Anything.
According to investigators, a Crime Stoppers tip led to her arrest 4 decades later.
Never seen a case like this. I've been doing this for over 26 years.
And just days ago, the emotional reunion between Michelle, now in her 40s, and her dad, Joe.
I've been missing for all this time and I didn't even know.
What was that moment like when you hugged your father for the first time?
Emotion like I could never explain. And we both laughed, we cried. It was kind of just a fulfilling of a big piece of myself that's been missing.
And now, moving forward,
I feel like I am probably the luckiest person in the world right now. So not everybody gets a happy ending like that.
Debra Newton faces a number of kidnapping charges. Now, attempts to reach her attorney were unsuccessful. Michelle telling me both of her parents are good people and that there's more to this story she's not quite ready to share just yet.
She's gonna have a great life.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top.
Yeah, I mean, now she's saying there's more to this story that she's not ready to tell yet.
She's gonna have a great life.
And you know she still loves her mama.
Of
Her
course.
mama's raised her for 40
Clearly,
years.
she's a great person.
Her
She
mama
does-
probably lied to her about her daddy.
Yeah.
You know, and she probably didn't know, or your daddy's this bad guy, this bad dude. And really, he may not have been that bad. Or he may have been bad at the time and changed. You know, 40 years is a long time. He could have been terrible 40 years ago and be a good guy today. I mean, I don't know. We don't
don't
really
know
know
anything.
the backstory.
The next video, or one of the videos, shows them together.
Yeah, I'm about to get to that now. Here we go.
We brought you video of a woman in the Villages being arrested after allegedly abducting her child nearly 40 years ago. I'm News 6's Laverne McGee. We have the latest on that.
Uh-oh, they're coming for you, Sharon!
This body camera footage we first showed you on Tuesday has gone viral. Sharon Neely's neighbor in the Villages is seen joking that the police are coming for her, but they really were. Police say,
You know, the neighbor probably thought she was a really good lady, and she might be a really good lady. She just didn't. She wanted her kid.
Yeah.
You know, and she ain't the only mother out here to grab her kid and take off.
Sharon is actually Debra Newton. She allegedly left Louisville, Kentucky with her then 3-year-old back in 1983, disappearing without a word to her husband, Joe Newton.
She's always been in our heart. I can't explain it, that moment walking in and get to put my arms back around my daughter.
Sharon Neely seems genuinely confused about why she's being arrested. In 1983, Joe Newton and his wife Debra were planning a move to Georgia. Debra left early with their daughter Michelle, also referred to as Melissa now. But when Joe arrived, they were gone.
That's hard to
Now, is that kidnapping? If you just leave your husband and take the kid, there's no court order in place.
I mean, I don't know what that is. That's
I
just-
mean, ain't it up to the courts to find where she's at, serve her with a? I mean, I can see you like her changing her name so
that's
they couldn't serve her.
abandonment for the marriage part too. That's abandonment.
Is that a real thing?
Yeah.
Just leaving somebody?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that was a law. You can't just say I'm out.
I mean, if you say you're out, then I mean you.
So
go
what
through
about
the
all these women that
separation
just
and
pack up
divorce.
and leave?
It's abandonment. You have to get a divorce especially if the other person doesn't know you're leaving. You can't just up and leave. That's why a lot of people don't get married, because it's like a
I mean,
contract.
I would think you would have to have physical custody, because I guess when you're married, you got joint custody, right? Naturally.
Yeah.
Right. But if you separate, then one of you have to file for custody.
Yeah, or else it's just whoever has the kid.
Yeah. So then how is that kidnapping? Maybe he filed for custody, but she couldn't be served. So at a certain amount of time, it turned into kidnapping.
I mean, we don't know any of the
But to put
information.
her on the FBI's most wanted for picking up her kid and just fucking leaving?
Well, I mean, if she left, it was abandonment, and then when he'd never heard from her
But how many
again,
people you've ever seen on FBI's most wanted list for abandonment?
Not very many.
I don't think that would
I mean, I
ever
don't
happen.
really scroll the list, so like I'm not
Usually
really.
it's killers and rapists
Yeah.
and stuff like that. You got a mother who took her kid that she didn't steal her kid. She just
She
took
kind
her.
of did though,
She took her with her.
knowing that she had a father.
Yeah.
She can decide to never talk to the father again and ghost him, but it's not her. She shouldn't have that right to make that decision for her kid.
Look at her as an adult. When I last seen her, she was a 3-year-old.
An emotional and shocking reunion, starting with the arrest of her mother, then police at her door saying,
"You're not who you think you are. You're a missing person. You're Michelle Marie Newton." My intention is to support them both through this and try to navigate and help them both just wrap it up so that we can all heal, and hopefully, there's just
You heard her say
apologies
she's
and-
trying to help them both wrap it up. So she wants the mother and the dad to work it out at this point, even though she's found out her name is different. She just wants them to work it out. And that's what I would think would happen anyway, because she's not going to want her mama in jail.
She was raised by her mom.
I know. That's what I'm saying. So she probably loves her dad. It's nice to meet him, but at the same time, hey, dad, don't prosecute mom is what I'm thinking. I mean, I don't know.
Start healing.
Laverne McGee, News 6.
I mean, that is crazy though. Somebody, I mean, just think about it. If somebody came and knocked on your door right now, PJ, and said, your mom and dad, you're not from Croatia. They're not your parents. And your name is Jennifer Marie, I don't know, any last name, right? What would you do? Okay, and then what if they said, okay, here's the proof, here's your birth certificate, here's pictures of your family. What at that point would you do?
What's there to do? Let's go meet these people. Like, I don't.
Meet them, but what would you want to happen to the people that have raised you and took care of you your whole life?
If I was taken care of and alive, and I mean, there's got to be more to it. There's got to be a lot more to it. Like, there's just got to be a lot more to it, because like, was the mom being abused and ran from like abuse? Like you said, it's got to be something to it.
More to it. That's what I'm
It
saying.
couldn't just be like, oh, she just up and just.
All right, this is
ghosted
two
them.
days ago, her in court.
Information tonight as a 40-year-old missing persons case comes to a close with a connection to Louisville. We received body camera footage on the arrest of Debra Newton in Marion County, Florida. Authorities say Newton took her and her 3-year-old daughter, Michelle Newton, to Georgia in 1983 to begin a new job. But after a final phone call, they both vanished.
With all the information that we do have, you have a warrant for your arrest.
The shock on Newton's face right there. She was the mother involved in the 1983 missing child case. Newton was walking her dog in the villages of Florida, but was then recognized as the woman who vanished with her daughter Michelle over 40 years ago. She faces custodial interference charges for allegedly fleeing here to Louisville with a 3-year-old daughter at the time. She's now 46-year-old Michelle Newton, who was unaware she was the victim of a crime until authorities contacted her.
I mean, where was her? Where did she think her parent was?
I
Like,
mean,
there's so much more to it. There has to be.
I don't know. Like,
It's like you just don't.
Information tonight as a 40-year-old missing persons
46.
case comes to a close with a connection to
she could have
Louisville.
been told her dad was passed away. He could have died in a motorcycle accident. anything
I mean, I would want to know where his
of
grave
that.
was to go see him or something. There's got to be more to it
Yeah, I
that we don't
mean,
know.
if you don't know nobody, like, why would you want to meet them?
I mean, there's so many people that are adopted and grow up and then want to meet their parent that they've never met their parent and want to meet their parent. I don't know. I'm not in that situation. But like, if you find out, hey, you've had a parent this whole time, why wouldn't you want to meet them?
I mean, you may want to meet them, but at the same time, you wouldn't want the person that raised you in prison. I don't think. Hear what everybody else has to say about it. Let's
I'm
open.
going back in there. I don't do good when there's too many people talking at the same time. I feel like we all talk.
Oh, you be fine for a minute,
Okay.
Dolly.
Doug from Tennessee.
What's up, Doug?
Hey, man, I got a son going through the same shit right now.
Did mother grab the kid and took off?
Nope, she won't let him see the baby. Been over 6 years.
Yeah, but he knows where the baby's at, right?
Yeah, he knows where he's at, but every time he goes to try to see her, they take restraining orders out against him.
Yeah, that's what I don't understand. I thought you could pack up, take your kid, and leave, and then you had to fight for custody. Has he ever tried to
Well, you
take? Why hasn't he took her to court for custody yet? There, Doug.
money,
You took
money.
that.
I mean,
It costs a lot of money to try to fight to get to see your kid.
No, I don't.
Jimmy, no, it doesn't.
No, I don't, Doug. I went through this
Jimmy
with
did it.
my baby mama, and I accomplished it. I mean, what they do is they give you a guardian ad litem. They bring you in front of a judge, and they make you come to agreement. And if you don't, if once you come to that agreement in front of the judge, if you don't abide by that agreement, it's failure to comply with a court order, and you go to jail.
Well, they wanted him to see his daughter at a place that you got to pay $150 an hour to spend 1 hour with your daughter.
Oh, I don't know. My baby mama tried all kind of stuff to keep, but the judges they just ruled in front of my favor. The judge told my baby mama, he said, "You know how many fathers I see coming here that don't want nothing to do with their child?" He said, "This man wants to see his child, and he's willing to negotiate the days with you, to pick up time with you, and everything. And if you choose not to, there's no option where you can say he can't see his child. So if you can't come to an agreement, we're going to make the agreement ourselves, and you're going to have to follow this agreement, or you'll go to jail." And then from there was a cop that helped me file for custody of my daughter to get
Well, see, her family's they're in with the law.
Yeah, well, there was a police that, we were arguing and fighting, and she kept calling the police on me, and basically,
All right, you got restraining orders.
yeah, and basically the cop said, "Look, man, you're just going back and forth, and you're not gonna, you can't win. You're in a losing battle. You're fighting with a woman. You're arguing and fighting, ain't doing no good. It's not getting you. The more you argue and fight with her, the less chances are you of seeing your daughter." And this cop had been through a rough marriage, and he said, "Look, I will take you down there to the court myself and help you fill out the papers to be able to see your kid." And that's what he did. He took me down to the courts. He sat right there with me. We filled out the papers. I went in front of the judge. Well, first I went in front of a guardian ad litem, which is just somebody that's a middleman between you and her, so you don't argue and fight because you can't agree, right? So that the guardian ad litem said, "Hey, he's being fair. You're not being fair. But if you can't be fair, I'm going to go get the judge, and I'll tell the judge that you're not being fair." So the lady went back there, told the judge, "Hey, she won't come to agreement. He's being fair." And the judge came out and wasn't playing that shit. The judge was like, "Listen, he's going to be able to see his kid. If you'll meet him every other day at the police station, he'll be able to pick up his child, drop her off right at the police station." So that's how it was. But then me and my baby's mama, we got over that shit. We stopped arguing and we came to an agreement. And then it was just in the beginning, people mad at each other and stuff like that. So it was just like, it was unnecessary. I think if you ask my baby's mama now, she would say, "Oh, that was unnecessary." Just like I think it was unnecessary. But if you take the legal process, you can see your kid. I mean,
each one of her family members, brother, sister, her husband, her mama, her daddy, her aunt, all 8 people took restraining orders out against him. Each one was $800 something.
Yeah, they're using the legal system to fight him off, to make him not want to be a part of his kid's life. Is what that sounds like. Yeah, and he's letting them win. Like you got to
give up, man.
I mean, I can understand it. I can understand it. Like in the situation, I probably would have too if I didn't have the help that I had in the thing. And like I said,
You're just not a quitter.
yeah, I ain't a quitter either, you know. And like Tip to this day, you see how big a part of my life my daughter is. You know what I'm saying? You just ain't keeping me from seeing my kid. Now, I mean, you can take the kid and you know she can live with you, but I want to see my daughter when I want to be able to see my daughter.
But see, we can see her.
Y'all can see her. He just can't.
Right.
Oh, well, that's pretty
There's gotta
bad.
be more to it.
Or
And see,
saying there's more to it.
but
It's that she's scared of him and all that crazy stuff.
oh, they all do.
Oh,
Every time he comes around, man, it's restraining order.
mm-hmm.
And you know, I mean, after a lot, I mean, you get tired of the money deal.
Yeah. It's
And so they can't say he ain't got a place to live because he lives in my place out on the mountain.
yeah.
And he's got a 3-bedroom trailer, and they still won't let him go out there. But she does want that $187 a week that they get off his ass
Yeah. That
every week.
I
They
mean,
garnish you
it's
that
terrible, not only just for women, but anybody to weaponize the police system, and especially in the kids' case, because in the long run, who does it hurt? It hurts the child,
shit.
right?
It hurts that child.
You know,
And
so
see, one of these days, she's going to see her daddy, and she's going to find out he ain't as bad as they say.
yeah, of course.
That's
And,
what the
and,
thing is. They tell her he's bad. He's bad.
and you know, well,
Granted,
Tiff was
he
already
got off on the wrong.
Tiff
He,
was
he
already
got off
getting
on the wrong foot.
Tiff was already getting up there in age, so our fight didn't last long because Tiff got to the age where she could be like, "Hey, I just want to go see my dad," and then you know, it was then all the fighting stopped. Like I never had any problems. It was just when Tiff was young. When Tiff got a little bit older, I didn't have no problem. Tiff could come anytime she wanted, all that, you know. And then of course we got her the car, she can drive. But yeah, I would suggest to him like try to be civil. You know, even when you disagree with what the hell that woman says, it took me a long time to go, hey, let me stop fighting with this lady and arguing with her and you know, just let her think she's right. And whatever makes her happy and keeps her from, you know, causing me trouble, I think that's what you gotta do. You as a man, it sucks to go, okay, you win, I give up. Right?
But she's getting old enough now where she's wanting to see her daddy.
Yeah. And that's what
And
happened. That's what happened. And all that I'm hoping that for your son, all that goes away. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, even in my battles, fighting for custody and stuff like that, it eventually stopped. And we sat in the courtroom one day and was like, all right, I'm over this. And she was like, yeah, I'm over it too. And then we had never argued about visitations or when Tiff would come or when she wouldn't. I could have her when I wanted her. I could go get her from school. It all stopped. It was like, I guess we realized, hey, this is stupid. And it took a lot, but we got to the point where we were sitting in the lobby and we were like, yeah, this is dumb as hell. You know, we could be doing other things right now. And from there, we haven't had one argument or one fight in 15 years. You know, I still talk to her every now and then when it's absolutely have to, like, you know, birthdays or Tiff's birthday's coming up or Christmas. Sometimes around Christmas, I'll see her. But I just try to be respectful and nice and keep it moving, you know?
Well, see, he can't do that.
Yeah.
He's too strong headed.
Yeah. Well,
and you're not going to tell him what to do.
yeah, that's where, you know, it's hard to beat a woman in this in this world, right?
But like I say,
Women rule the planet. I mean, they do. They rule.
One kid, they want $187 a week.
Uh-huh.
And he pays that every week.
Yeah.
And but one of these days she's gonna see her daddy and she's gonna find out he ain't as bad as what they thought.
My question, you still ain't answered my question.
You keep talking.
what should they do? What's the punishment this woman should get for taking her kid? That was the
Not to get to
question.
see her, not to get to see her daughter for years.
For the next 40 years?
Yep. Next 4
Okay.
or 5 years, you don't have no contact. Can't speak to her. Can't see her. I think they should just put her in jail for 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, I said 1 to 5 myself.
You're soft on women.
Yeah, I'm a little soft on women, but I said 1 to 5 too. So
And then don't let her see her, and no visitations whatsoever.
yeah,
Yeah, but the daughter doesn't want that.
yeah, the daughter don't want that.
Well, they just have to tell the daughter, sorry, that she can't have no visitation.
Yeah, I mean that would suck. That would suck for the daughter.
If you're,
'Cause-
and if you're in prison, they can do that.
yeah, I know. Okay, Doug, I appreciate you calling.
Bye, PJ.
All right. So Doug says 4 to 5 years, should be the sentence of a thing. And, like I said, there's a lot of people that probably in this chat room that's been through custody battles and Dolly.
Hey, Dolly.
Hey.
It's Rita from Dexter.
Hey, Rita.
I didn't know nothing about this case, so y'all just started talking about it.
Yeah. So what do you think should happen to the mother?
40 years?
40 years.
Yeah. She clearly raised her. She clearly turned out all right. I'm not saying it's okay that she ran off with her, but we weren't there. We don't know what happened.
Yeah.
I think the truth is going to come out, but I'm not going to be quick to judge this mother because I bet there's a lot to this story that we do not know.
I think so too. But just if there wasn't, and she just one day decided, hey, I'm going to leave, and she took off for 40 years. The question is, what do you think the punishment should be? How would you punish somebody like this?
Well, kidnapping is very serious, so I mean, definitely prison. No matter what age you are, if you commit a crime like that and you get caught, the crime still happens. You still have to pay for the crime, no
I
matter
didn't
what
even
age
know
you
that
are.
was a crime. I didn't even know that was a crime.
Yeah, you can't take a child away like that. And he was a former police officer, so he knew the law and he knew what to do in the courts to have her put on this.
That's probably why she wanted to get away from him too. Maybe I don't
Yep.
know, because if most women leave a man, they don't usually charge him with kidnapping.
Yep. So I mean, he had some. I would be willing to bet he had some pull somewhere to get that
It took him
her
40
on
years.
that FBI's most wanted list.
Yeah, but I'm saying she's saying he had pull to be able to get these charges taken out on her.
Because the kid
Yeah.
was with her and vanished. What do you mean? That's like
That
any
don't
missing
mean
kids case.
if you ain't missing if you were with your mama.
But if they can't find the mama or the kid,
What about Melanie Buzzard? They can't even know where her damn kid is, and
that's
they
in California. That's a whole different.
Yeah, I
any
don't
have their
even
own
understand that melody though.
yeah, I mean, and that mother don't even have to tell you where the kid's at.
That's,
You
I don't
know,
understand that.
so he must have had some pull with the police to get the
I
kidnapping
don't think
charge.
so. 'Cause here, it would be a
Yeah.
big deal here. I would think.
The mother
I
don't
mean,
s-
if the mother and the kid vanish,
Neither one of them seem like bad people from what we've seen on TV. They all look like they had their stuff together. They lived in nice houses.
even seen her speak.
Yeah,
Where did she,
and it
how
looked
do you
like
know that?
I seen her look on her. She had a little dog with her.
So she's a good person.
I mean, she's
Okay.
nice little animal. Like she had a little. What is that? What are them little curly dogs called? A poodle. A little poodle with her. How bad can you be if you walk in a poodle in a nice neighborhood? I mean, I guess you
And
could
we
be a
were
killer.
Well, we were just talking about mental illness. Maybe she was like thought he was going to take the baby if she didn't take the baby and she ran off. Like I said, we're not going to know until the daughter starts talking. And
Yeah.
she did say she wants to help both parents. So the daughter turned out all right. So the mom did something right in raising the daughter. She shouldn't have kept it from her father. But like I said, we don't know the story.
Well, she should at least
Unfortunately.
told the daughter, "Hey, I took
She
off
should-
from your
yeah.
dad. I was scared of him. Your name ain't what your name is. I
Yeah.
used that because your dad is crazy or something." She should have told her something to be like,
Yeah, I
we
mean,
don't
could you
know what she
imagine?
told her though. We don't know what she could have told her something. We don't know.
Yeah, but what part of the story, where, like, in what situation does it make okay? Like, what situation does happen to where it makes it okay for her to leave with the kid?
I mean,
Nothing.
people leave their husbands every day.
That's not
Take the
that-
dog and
it's
everything.
different. That's different. And
Be
they
like,
tell them
kid
they're
be
leaving.
gone, dog be gone, everything. They take the goldfish. Take
Yeah,
the
I
hamster.
know of a case. I know of cases right now where people are, they're fighting for their kids and stuff, and the fathers, they have just as many rights, and you can go into court and you can battle it out, and it can take years, and it can take a lot of money for the father and the mother to fight back and forth in court.
Yeah.
Back in the day, they would just side with the mother and say, "Here you go," but now these fathers have rights. They're standing up. They want their kids too, and like you did, Dolly, they want their kids,
Yeah.
and they have equal rights. And people, they just going to have to understand. You make a baby together. That's just as much his child as it was her child.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I mean, I agree.
How did
They
they
treat
not
fathers
find
different
her?
these days than well, even what's TIF 25. So I would say 15 years ago, they like I said, a police officer sat down with me, had been through a rough divorce, and said, "Look, man, this is all you got to do if you want to see your kid. Instead of arguing back and forth and trying to fight to see your kid, just do it legally. Fill out this paperwork. They'll give you a court date. You'll go in front of these people, and they're going to treat you fairly. I promise you." And he was right about everything. He was dead right. And I went in there, and once the orders were in place, it wasn't no keeping tip away. You had to, if you didn't, all I had to do was go down to the courthouse and say you didn't follow the court order, and they'd go and arrest you. So at that point, it was like he was right. He was absolutely right. He's like, you look, you're fighting a battle you can't win, and you're just gonna get yourself in trouble and more trouble and more trouble. And all you have to do is go fill out this paperwork. And if you don't, I'll take you down there to do it myself. And he took me to the courthouse. The cop did.
Yep.
So,
and they'll do that if they really want to help. The cops will help you with stuff like that if they really want to help and they see your side of the story. They will.
He said he had went through the same thing. He said he almost lost his job, his career, and everything over his divorce. And he said, "Man, you're going down the same path as me. Let me help you." And he did. And I still think that cop, that's why I know all cops ain't bad. That was a good dude. He just wanted to help. Right? He didn't want to see me get in trouble. He didn't want to see me do anything stupid and arguing and fighting and cussing and screaming on the phone. He was just like, "Hey, look, this is what you do. This is how you do it, and I'll take you to where you do it at." And everything changed after that.
Yeah. When I got custody of my kids years ago, I went through the courts and I got custody of my kids, and I had to fight a lot of people.
But if
and I
there's
won.
no order in place, I just don't see how it's kidnapping.
If he's on the birth certificate.
I don't know either. I really believe it's got something to do with him, police officer, and he went through the legal channels to try to see his kid, and they couldn't find her, and they turned it into kidnapping. I really believe that.
Yeah, and the line about her name, if she hadn't been lying about her name, I would say, okay, well, she, they should have found her and served her. But with her lying about her name, I mean, that's fraud right there in itself. So, I mean, yeah, she should go to prison for a while. All right, Rita, I appreciate you calling.
All right, you guys have a good night.
All right, peace.
Bye.
So far, everybody thinks the woman should spend a little bit of time, but nobody says nothing long. Like she should go to prison for 20 years. Or,
we don't know what the scenario is.
Yeah.
Like, if she was getting beat or something. I mean, even then, like, she should have let the system figure it out.
well, if she was
It's
being
not
abused,
her.
she should have called the.
Right.
Dolly.
Oh. Hey.
Hey.
Let me turn you down here. So this is Customs.
Hey, Customs.
Crystal.
Crystal.
Hey. So with the whole thing about the woman kidnapping her daughter.
Yeah, she just basically
think
packed
it's
up one day and left, and 40 years later, they found a little girl and charged her with kidnapping.
Right. Well, we need to think of it this way. Okay, first of all, I know a lot personally of people that go through CPS all the time, and they jump through the hoops, and CPS doesn't care. Like, I went through it with my granddaughter, trying to fight for my granddaughter, and the woman literally, the guardian litem literally said, "Well, I don't want to talk to you no more and she didn't talk to me no more. She refused to give me custody of my granddaughter because I told them that if my granddaughter was to die in the care of the mom, that we're coming after them. They
Yeah.
didn't like that.
Well, I mean, I thought if the guardian ad litem come into agreement, then it goes in front of a judge. And that's the situation where mine was. We went in front of a guardian ad litem, and the guardian ad litem couldn't come to a middle ground. And then she took it to the judge, and then the judge put in the court order. And once that order's in place, you violate it, you go to jail.
Yeah, you got lucky. I'm being honest, you got lucky. I have a friend right now that her daughter was on drugs or is on drugs still. And her she had a baby. Baby's I think like almost 2 years old. And she ended up having custody of her granddaughter.
Yeah.
Well, everything was fine. CPS is known to come into your house, and if you don't know their laws, quote unquote, they tried to bully you. Well, they turned around, and because he went to a restaurant for her birthday and the baby was at home in her home with her son, that for some reason they wanted to check everybody out. So her son was watching the baby, and the guardian ad litem showed up unannounced, peeping through her windows, saying that the baby wasn't there, that she kidnapped the baby, all kinds of stuff.
Wow.
She tried to go in front of the judge. The judge was all one-sided. They would not listen to her at all. They caught this woman in a whole bunch of lies, found out her license were taken and everything, and then she came here to Ohio. Well, long story short, the child ended up being taken away and placed into another family's custody because they had it out for her. So, and with that woman, the only thing I could think of is because cops, how they are like, they back each other up, right? A lot of them do. So what's to say that he wasn't, I can't forget that movie where he was a big time attorney or maybe even a cop and he beat up his wife. Well, that's what I'm kind of thinking is, what if that's what is happening here? Like maybe he was abusive and she's tried to report it, but because he's in the force,
Nobody's
they're
taking
like,
it
oh,
serious.
well,
They ain't
I don't
doing
care.
nothing.
We don't know any of that
Yeah.
information. And where
So,
did we get the information
maybe
he was a cop? I never saw that. And I mean, if he was a cop, wouldn't you think they would be able to find this woman 40 years later? We just don't know any of that. Like, I don't.
Right, we don't, but I'm saying, we don't know the situation. So, like, maybe there's a reason. A lot of
Of
times
course
women
there's a reason.
do that reason to protect herself.
Yeah.
There's
herself and her kid.
150 million%. There's some type of reason. We just don't know what it is.
Yeah.
But I mean,
And
even
there's
if
two
she was-
sides to every
Even
story.
if she was being abused and there's something there, I mean, it doesn't make it right for her just to take off and not tell anybody and then just keep the child away from the father. Even if he was abusive, there should have been some type of way. I get there's circumstances where things turn out where it seems like somebody's out to get you. But I mean, in the proper channels of doing things the proper way, there still should be like the right protocol on how to do things. You don't just take up and run and ghost the person and never speak to them again. It just doesn't. I don't see any
Right.
reason for it.
Yeah. Okay.
See,
Hey,
I mean,
go ahead.
I understand, but I really think that there was some type of reason and she was protecting her and her kid.
Yeah.
So, I mean, honestly,
Right.
I would do the same thing.
I would think that too, but it's
We'll
hard
find
to,
out,
it's hard
though.
to say.
I'm sure we will. I think
Yeah.
she'll have a good movie.
Yeah, she'll have a good Lifetime movie. Hey, we appreciate you calling in.
Yeah.
All right, peace. All right, guys, I'm gonna get ready to wrap it up with that. We've been here for 3 hours with you guys tonight. We want to kick back and chill a little bit. We got a bunch of packages packed up today. PJ's been working her little
I
fingers
still
off,
have more
right?
to do.
So she's been working a little. And remember, all orders come with one of these little cool bracelets that I'm wearing that say "Justice for Summer Wells." And hold on, I got to give the hat away. You know what? Let's see. Tonight I'm gonna give it to one of the donators.
Did you make your goal?
Yeah, I believe so. Give me the list.
I don't have my phone. I don't have anything with me.
Hold on. I can pull it up right here. I'll just pick a person out of the people that have donated tonight. Okay. I click on right here, what? Viewer activity.
I don't know how to do it.
Okay, let's see.
I just know how to do it on my phone. And it's got channel activity.
We'll give it to let's give it to the crazy woman, MGL. She was our top donor tonight. Okay. She was our top donor tonight. So we're gonna give the hat to MGL. MGL, if you're here tonight with us, reach out to PJ through Best Soap in the Game, and we'll send you a signed hat. Okay, for being our top donor tonight. So thank you so much. You guys have been awesome, and we're going to try to bring you a little bit more stories that you haven't heard about coming up here in 2026. So we're throwing in new things. There's only so much information in missing kid cases, so we're trying to add a little bit of new stuff to the channel, so we have some things to talk about with you guys late night and stuff like that. So I hope tonight was very interesting. I know everybody was passionate about the mental illness part of this, and which I can understand completely. But I still want you guys to remember out there that are watching, this dude did some horrible things to his mom and dad, and I think we should be team victim, not team killer. Okay, that's just my opinion. You don't have to be that, but I'm team victim always. It's just the way I roll. And far as his mother, I guess as a family, they need to figure out, like I said, what.
That's exactly it. Because they all should have a say. Well,
Yeah.
not her so much, but
The daughter and the father. Let them work it out, and let the daughter play middleman and try to patch up the bad blood and see if they can fix their family. And I think that would be the best solution to that problem. If they decide it's her sit in jail for a little bit to learn her lesson, then that be what it is. I don't know. I have a hard time with that one. And I think every case is different.
we don't really know what even.
Yeah, we really
I
don't
mean,
know. And you guys have been great tonight. Make sure y'all drop some comments. Tell us if you like this type of stuff, us add new stuff, or if,
answer the questions of what we asked.
or yes, definitely the questions we had tonight. What should happen to Nick Reiner? Do you think he's crazy or not? Also, in the mother that took off with her kid, what do you think should happen to her after this video? Y'all leave a comment on the video so me and PJ can go through it and read it tomorrow, because we can only take so many calls, but we want to hear the answer from each and every one of you. And if you haven't, hit the damn like on the video.
We don't even have 1,000
we
likes.
don't even have 1,000 likes. I've been here with you for 3 hours on a Saturday
It's just
night.
rude.
It's just rude. How rude are you guys out there? All right. We're only the greatest true crime duo to ever do it. All right. And y'all don't show no love, none. All right. But anyway, just in case we don't see you between now and Christmas, if you're busy with your family and stuff like that, we want to wish everybody out there a happy, Merry Christmas. And we hope you stay blessed and in good health. That's the most important thing. And check out buydollysoap.com. Still half off with promo code Dolly Rocks. And
Is it?
remember, if nobody else loves them, who loves them, PJ?
You do.
Dolly does. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.